Bang! Neevesknives. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jared. Forgot to say that part. Forgive me. So, Everyday City Carry will be here right around 8 o'clock, which would be 9 o'clock his time. Kelly will be in a bit after she gets home. But let's start the show. Let's just start it right off. So, I got a bunch of questions that are going to go specifically to Ray and Kelly. And, as we move towards the, later on in the night, we'll start getting to some juicy questions. But in the beginning, we'll make sure we keep it majority knife related. I got a couple funny questions I'm going to ask him and Kelly, and a couple personal ones. Not too personal, but, just some crazy questions. I love the questions some of you guys dropped in of topics to talk about tonight. So some of them I'm just going to get right down to and start talking about because, Ray, he's part of the knife community and the EDC community, but, he's, as much as he's into knives and EDC, he's into a lot of things. And I think he's stressed that a lot, that he's not as knowledgeable about it as a lot of people. He just doesn't dig that deep into it. He's mostly aesthetics and action, so we'll try not to get too crazy on him tonight and put him on the spot or anything like that. But we got some good questions out. So there was a couple I like that you guys were asking. So I'm going to start off with why are we never satisfied? And, I could just wait for him to get here till I start asking those questions, but we might as well just start just shooting the shit. So, oh yeah. And Knife Sergeant, man, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. That's awesome. I know you were really feeling like crap. I hope everything's working out for you. So, why are we never satisfied? I personally think it has a lot to do with history and our mentality of constantly trying to conquer and grow and seek out, right? For so many generations, even if you go to people that never really moved around or anything, they still moved around in their areas, like whether it was through tribes. But I think that we are, like, put it this way. So if you were a tribe, right? Just because you were a tribe, that doesn't mean you weren't seeking out the best weapon, the best tool, the best materials to make the tools. I heard this story one time. I think it was Alaska, I believe. So in Alaska, this meteorite had fallen and hit somewhere, and it was big, like real big. So this person had went and was exploring that area, and he's seen that some of the local tribe people, I don't know what they'd be called. Forgive me. I would call them an Eskimo, but some people say that that's, not good. I don't know. Anyways, but point is that they had knives made out of this material, and the guy was like, what is going on? Like, where did you get this? Like, how did you make this? And because this was the thing, was that they had iron, right? They had iron, but these people were however many generations or hundreds of years behind, right? Behind. And they had these tools. Some of these tools were made out of this stuff. And he's like, how did you get, your hands on this? And they told him about this stone, right, that they found. And he went searching for it. And eventually they found it. And then I'm sure you guys can imagine what happened with it after he found it. He obviously turned it, or, got people to come and get it. I guess it was really big. They sold it, made a bunch of money off of it. But the tribes people, and the tribe person gave him that knife. So like it's in some museum now or something, but it was actually made out of meteorite. So it's basically like iron. And it was fascinating to me when I was listening to this story about that. Right. And that thing put that tribe, that group, on another pedestal, right? It really made them, because You can think of rock, wood, you know, there's always going to be levels, right? Steel is going to be superior. So giving them that type of material and them being able to make tools out of it, it you know, it basically boosted them. So I think that our minds are still like that, which obviously, like, I don't think we'll ever not be, right? We'll never not be. Even if you want to look at it like us trying to get the fastest internet or whatever. So I think it always still, or it still goes down to, we are always seeking out the best tools and better tools, not even just the best, but better than what we have, and trying to get to that point that we'll never get to, right? We'll never get to be satisfied to the point to where we can say, I don't know, maybe some people do, but you know, where we can say that I'm finished. I found everything I ever need and I'll never need to find anything more. I did hear a guy though, years ago, he told a story and he said that he was always like that, always seeking out the best. And he said he got to a certain age and he said, no more. He said, I've seeked out everything that is going to satisfy me or keep me alive, I guess you could say. And he said, I'm done seeking out. I'm going to take these things and this knowledge that I have, and I'm just going to use it. I'm not going to seek out any better. I'm not going to try to do anything different than I've already done. And I'm just going to live life with these things this way. And I did find that a little bit inspiring, but for the most part, most people, we're always looking for bigger and better. So does anyone have the drop turola? I do have the drop turola. I can recommend it. What I would say is the couple issues that, if you have an issue with it, it's thick behind the edge. Okay, so it's not a super slicer or anything like that. It's thick behind the edge and it's not tall. So you're most likely going to want to lay the edge back. Now, sometimes that means nothing to anybody. Like, to a lot of people in the world, as long as it's a knife, it's going to work. So when I say that, you know, take it with a grain of salt. It'll most likely work just fine for you. With mine, I did one angle on one side. And I'm talking about sharpening. I put like a 15-degree angle on my bevel on one side, and then I went with like a 22-degree on the other side, and it made it into like probably 4 or 5 times better at cutting. It's seriously, like, I can't express how much better that knife wound up cutting after doing that. Now the next thing is that the thumb disc it has is pretty close to the handle. Right. So some people find that it is a little tight to the handle. It's easy to use. Don't get me wrong. It's so easy to use. But Turzola's customs, obviously the customs are going to be far better, but the customs there are so well placed that it makes it to where, you know, people that don't like discs love them when they're on a Turzola. He's got them so well placed, so well positioned. The drop knife's not going to quite be like that, but great knife. Titanium liners, titanium clip. They look good. They have a spear point blade. Very useful. I love it. I mean, I have one. I carry it quite a bit. And like I said, once I did that thing to the edge, it changed it completely. But before that, it wasn't the best slicer. It cut okay. I'm not saying, and I'm saying that based on me cutting 100 feet of cardboard at work, right? I'm not basing that on opening something up or cutting something out or needing to use a knife. I'm basing that on long-term cutting during a day. So, David Watson, have you done a flipper tab delete before? Oh yeah, many times. If so, what did you use tools wise? So you can use a cutting wheel, like a Dremel cutting wheel. They're small, they're like this big. That's what I would start with. So you use that and then get a excuse me. And then you get the other bits, like there's the aluminum oxide stone bits that go on your Dremel. Like get like a kit like this. I actually had it pulled out. You want to get like a kit like this. If you have this specific kit, you got everything you need in there. I think there's the cutting wheel in here too. And this is it's cheap. Is the cutting wheel in here? Yes. Yes, cutting wheels are in here. So with this exact kit, you'll have everything you need in there to do a flipper tab delete and then some, and you will have extra tools because there's only 3 tools you need in here. But this kit will let you do so many things. And you'll be able to do far more, like, for a long time with that kit. And they're cheap. You know, that's like, I don't know, $20. And I think I did a video if you want to watch it. I forget. Has anyone ever bought a knife only for its historical significance? I know a lot of people who have. Man, I would love to say yes. A long time ago I have. But yeah, I don't man. You know who is good at that? There's someone in the community that he buys old knives. Like he goes to pawn shops and he looks for those old gems, and he's found like kits. Like he found this one kit. I don't know how much. It was like over $1,000 worth of like these custom like it was made by like somebody who makes like fighting knives and stuff. And I think some of them were folders, some were fixed blades. I forget, but it was a whole kit of, and excuse me, not like cheap knives. Like the maker was like a high-end maker, and he made this kit, and it was like from like the 80s or something. Like it was really dope. Crafted by Chris. Any tips for sharpening with sandpaper? 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 grit. When you get up to the top or the high grits, make sure you're just stropping backwards. So at the beginning, in the lower grits, you can push towards, but when you get to the high grits, it's so fine the paper will rip. You have to move. Let me just get a knife in my hand. You have to go backwards. So you can go straight forward on the low grits, but not the high grits. I would personally say, oh, I forgot to mention, I had that guy who sent me that piece for the Workshop Precision Guided Sharpener. He sent me the other ones that hold the same angle. And I will show it in a video explaining it, but it holds the same angle as the Workshop, the Tri-Stone that they already send. And he also gave me more adhesive so I can do a better job this time. But yeah, that's the one tip I would give you though, Crafted by Chris. I did do a video on it of me doing it for the first time. If you love history on knives and kukris may appeal to you, the antique kukris are notably cheap, like $300 to $400 cheap for 100-year-old blade. Yeah, so see things like that, like those things fascinate me. You know, Knife Junkie, he's got some real nice, real sweet pieces on the wall. But yeah, I'm always fascinated with history and the people that came before us, and the tools that they used and things. Nick Martino says, "Hey Jared, do you ever not pick an expensive knife in the morning to carry because you're afraid of losing it or something bad happening to it?" Yeah, with other people's stuff. Yeah, for sure. So I like if it's somebody else's tool and it's really high end and I know I'm going to do some fuck shit, yeah, I'm not bringing that. I like to think that I try to bring the right tool for the job. Now, when I go into days of work where it's anonymous, like I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and I've definitely shown up underprepared before where I run into like where it's like, oh, you're gonna need to use your knife all day, and it's like, I don't want to use this knife. You know, why did I bring this knife? So what I do is I always bring a knife that I want to bring, a knife I should bring, and then sometimes I have one in my bag that's like this thing. I don't care if I chuck it across the floor. So AZCK, I don't know what that means. Oh, occasionally has, oh, I see, it's a company, has historical stuff. It's never inexpensive, right? That is, I mean, you're paying for the history, right? And you're paying for the time. It's Some things go down in value, but eventually they go back up. Right. I had these knives, man. I wish I could remember the names of them. This was a long time ago, but I remember at the time I had looked them up and they were pricey. So the scales on them were all handmade, like the wood scales, but they were like so there was like little tiny details that you could tell they hand fit these little pieces in there. It was so cool, but man, I cannot remember the name for the life of me. That same guy that did that also made pens, and at the time I had pens made out of them, or from him. And on the pen, so like I had this one, it was all wood, and then it had like little tiny, like say a handsaw, like cut out and put into the wood, and then it'd have like a hammer, and then it'd have like a pickaxe, like little tools all around it, but they were all hand cut out. You could tell hand put in, hand painted. And if you've seen the level of craftsmanship, it was amazing. But like things like that, I can imagine would just go up in value, especially over some time. Some things will go down at first, but then eventually go back up. Thanks. I found the Dremel video modifying lock bar access, Gail Bradley. Yeah, that's definitely one. That's for the lock bar access. I didn't do a flipper tab delete on that, but what I would say is while the blade is in the knife, okay? So if I take this right now, I need to take my marker and trace it while it's here because I don't want to cut off too much. And also, huge deal, make sure your stop pin is not where the stop pin lands. You do not cut that. You can easily accidentally cut that. Don't do that. So look at where it closes, because sometimes there's a stop pin right here. Sometimes this one has a stop pin up here, but sometimes they're down here. So trace it exactly where you're going to cut it off, and then open it up and look at it here and say, okay, is that good enough? If it's not, and you can move back that line just a little bit, make sure it's safe in the closed position. And then take it apart, get your cutting wheel, cut it off, and then use the aluminum oxide stones to smooth it out, right? Smooth it out a little bit. And then buy sandpaper. Get some high grit sandpaper, like 360 grit to depending on the finish you want, but 300 grit is a good finish on a knife. But then anything higher than that is going to really start smoothing out. So like most satin finishes on knives are like 300 grit. So you can go up to 1,000 grit if you want, to really smooth it out, and make it really soft right there. It just kind of depends on the finish you want, but I would say start with 200-300 grit, and that'll be a good grit to soften it up after you're finished cutting it and removing the steel you want. I almost cut off a flipper until I realized it was going to pass the stop pin. Yes, I've done the same thing. I've gotten lucky because there were times, man, where like I'm just I guess gun-ho and running right into something, and then I realize it like right before I'm about to do it. Thank God I realized it, because I'm about to ruin this bitch. That's why it's good to like I said, outline it. Check all your stopping areas. Make sure you're not hitting any of those areas, and you'll be fine. Alex's Knives and Such says, is the Kizer Cyberblade worth it? I am thinking of a knife or two in the Rough Rider Moonglow series. I haven't tried it. It's a little out there for me, but I could see why people would like it. Some people like that that futuristic look. I'm not huge into it, but I could see it being cool. It probably reverse flicks really damn good. But yeah, I mean, it's Kizer, so I have no doubt that it's not a really good knife. Saw the practice flipper tip delete and Spidey hole smooth budget shaman. Yeah. There's a few knives, man. I just love the thought, and I would want to cut that flipper tab off, throw a hole in it, and make it even better. Breeze. Any recommendations on something for me to ruin? Yeah, I would say Ganzos. Ganzos, if you want a good beater knife, one that's a solid knife, right? I'm not talking about something that's like this is a piece of shit throwaway knife. But for Ganzos, you can get them from $16 up to $40, and they're good quality knives that you know you can just beat on, and they're 440C. A lot of people think of that as a budget steel. Their 440C is really good, like really, really good. You'd be surprised how good their 440C is. They also deal in D2. I'm not sure if they have any other steels, but both of those are great beater steels. And yeah, like solid, tough knives, man. It's surprising how tough those knives are for the price. I bought some of their Axis Lock Ganzos for like $20. I still got them. And I mean, the one I did construction with it for not like every day for a year, but it was one of my work knives for a year. And yeah, it held up good. 440C used to be the super steel back in the day. Yeah, right. And depending on who's doing it, just like any steel, right? Any steel is going to be, you know, you can have it low quality or good quality. So one of the questions was most underrated and most overrated steel. Most underrated and overrated. So me personally, I mean, most underrated. Okay, let me back up. So if I was going to say what steel is a steel that should be used more, and that's why I'm saying it's underrated, like we don't use it enough, I would say Vanek Super Clean. Like I know it's hard to get. I know it's more of the rarer breeds, but so make more, right? Companies should make more or whatever we got to do to get it. But I find that could be a heavy hitter for super steels. Now, if you're just going to ask me the most underrated, I'd say the 14C28N, Alice's Knife and such. A couple other people probably said it too. And the 12C27, because 12C27 is very close to 14C28M. Now, when I say that, I'm saying that based on that company doing it good. All companies are be able to do it average, right? And that's why I love it so much, because average, it's a good steel. Now, if other companies are doing it better than the companies doing it average, and I personally think it's got a lot more potential than we give it credit for. Even where it sits right now and everything that we're used to, I think if we just pushed it a little bit harder, we'd be surprised at the levels of which it could go, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. It could get chippy as hell. I don't know, but I would love to see it. Most overrated, in my opinion, would be probably, I was going to say D2, but M390 I don't know, man, because M390 is a solid steel. It really is. Just like D2. I don't even like to think that any steel is overrated. So, man, I don't know. I guess, I mean, you could go S35VN, M390, 20CV, or like D2, right? But they're all good steels as long as they're done right. It's just whether or not they're done right. That's the biggest question. My Tops 154 CM has great strength and edge retention. Yeah, 154 CM is a solid steel. I just personally, I like it at a low grit, especially if it's CPM 154. It gets so slick. That's my only problem with it. And it's not even a problem. It's just knowing the steel you're dealing with. So if you put CPM 154 on the stone, after 600 grit, man, you start feeling the teeth. Like it's like you're polishing them out. Put it this way, this is kind of my point. 600 grit is like 1200 grit for anything else on CPM 154. So when you think of it like that at 600 grit, it's basically like sharpening another steel at 1200 grit. So now when you continue to go up, say to 1200 grit, now it's like it's like putting a high polish. Now, some steels take that very well. Some steels just get sharper and sharper because they have the carbides that get exposed, right? Like literally as they're being polished and sharpened, they get exposed. CPM 154 is not like that. It's because it's a powdered steel. So I'm not a metallurgist or nothing, but I would imagine that it has to do with, because since it's a powdered version of 154 CM, which is already like that, it's already a steel that likes a lower grit put on it. So then when you take it into a powdered version, it's like the I don't know how to say it. It's like it mixed, the way it's mixed, it's so fine grained, let's say it like that. It's so fine grained that it's that there's not, I don't know, maybe the carbides aren't really big and massive in it or something. But either way, you can have an edge that has a lot of bite. You just want it at a low to medium grit. I personally don't like to go over like 600 grit with 154 CM or CPM 154, and CPM 154 sometimes slightly lower than 154 CM. Great steel though, solid steel, good edge retention, really tough, easy to sharpen, good stain resistance. Oh no, I am laying low now too. It's been a rough few weeks and I blew way too much ever since the Blade HQ Native Chief. My spending has been expensive. Yeah, that's why after you drop them dollars, right? That's when it's time to just kind of lay low, get your budget right, watch some good knife videos, take down some notes. Not saying that you're watching knife videos to buy, but you're watching them to know, like, because sometimes I think that crazy spending comes from us seeing it and then buying it, right? Rather than say seeing it and acting accordingly and saying, okay, this is on my list. Right, this is on my list. Now, I can't buy nothing until I have 20 on my list. Think about that. Think about if you made all your purchases like that for knives. If you said, I am not allowed to buy this knife until I have 20 more, and you can't fucking go like, okay, just start writing down bullshit. No, I mean 20 new knives that have caught your attention that you would actually purchase. Then weigh the options, and you can then like tell yourself like, okay, I can only buy 2 out of this list. And if you do it like that, and you literally, you know, hold yourself to the fire. You know, don't allow yourself to buy 5 out of the list. Buy 2 out of the list. Give yourself a price range for each one, and say I won't exceed this, and then I have the funds to buy 1 or 2. And you know, it I tend to do that. I usually don't go with 20. I usually do between 5 and 10, because I usually know what I want, and I can usually look at 2 knives and say which one I want. But there are those times, man, I get anxiety. And I'm saying, like, I'll have the money, right? I have the funds, and it's like, all right, we're making a knife purchase. We're making a knife purchase. So then I'll be online searching and searching and searching, and I'll have like a whole bunch of them, and I'm going back and forth looking at each one, and I start getting anxiety that of which one I'm gonna get, which one I'm gonna spend my money on. And yeah, it's I will shut everything down because I'm getting anxiety. Like, I'm like, all right, I gotta stop, and I won't even make a purchase because it's just it's almost too overwhelming, and I haven't made a purchase, and I can't decide. And I think that's where it comes from, is from not deciding and not just pulling the trigger. If I would just pull the trigger, I would be just fine, but I won't pull the trigger. And it's like I have to convince myself a million times. All right, guys, I just want to check this, because just in case if Everyday City Carry's having trouble, I just want to make sure it's not him. Right now, guys, I'm running 2 phones, because when I got my new one, I was supposed to turn my other one in, but they never sent the thing for me to turn it back in. So I'm running 2 phones, juggling. Why won't this? There we go. So I try to Man, I'm all day long. Like, this is what I'm doing. And I'm like catching them over here because I'm dropping them. I'm trying to do too much, way too much. But I pull it off. Oh, here we go. All right, guys. So let's welcome Everyday City Carry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Okay. Let me oh, I turn this on.
What's up, man?
What
is up?
Let me turn this down. Okay. Talk to me really quick. I just want
what's going on, dude? What's going on? We got the test.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep talking to me.
Testicles.
Okay. Now the chat. How does the sound? Because I can hear this, and I'll put in my earbuds if it's bad. Can you guys hear us good?
You know what?
Ray is in the house. Yes, he is. All right. Nobody's
crazy. I cannot see the chat.
You can't see the chat?
No, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log in on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do it that way. Do it the high tech way, baby.
That's what I do. I got it. Well, obviously I can see because I'm on StreamYard.
yeah. I'm gonna go right now.
I always do the laptop and the iPad next to each other.
Oh shit! Jesus Christ! All right, sorry. Sorry, that was me.
I know. I do that all the time. I'll literally.
Yo, what's up, man?
Not much, man. We got some good questions in the house. A couple people threw out some really good questions. So just now,
by the way, my friend, Japanese whiskey in the house. Whiskey without an E.
Cheers.
Explained to me by Jared on my podcast.
That is not real whiskey.
Mm-hmm. It's so smooth, man.
You know, with whiskey though, as long as it's barreled for over 3 years, you know, you can still make the same recipe. It's just that name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like with anything, you know, it has to be made in that country to be considered that. And then, like I said, bourbon is when it's cracked before that with the same recipe, basically. It's just not aged. Okay, so how you doing, first of all?
I feel great, man. I just got back from working 6 days every week. So I'm so happy to be off tomorrow. Like, you have no idea, bro.
I bet. So anybody who doesn't know, this is Ray from Everyday City Carry. One of the moderators will definitely throw a link in the chat for you guys to go sub to his channel. Please do it. And let's just get right into it. So I got some cool questions and topics for us to talk about.
Damn.
So we had a couple good knife ones. So this is one I think you are, because I know this is a topic for you that's kind of important.
Okay.
What company does the best pocket clip on a knife? Like, what do you think is the best pocket clip? And what would be the best pocket clip? Like, taking away all the knife brands, what does it look like?
To me, I like a deep carry, like a real deep carry. Like, I'm talking like all the way to the top of the scale.
Deep as she goes.
Yeah, like when you put it in the pocket, you will not see the scale at all. There are some clips that have that. Yep. I also like a cutout for the placement of the clip into the scale, not just placed on top of it. Like, you know, if there's G10, sometimes Civivi gets lazy. They just slap it right on top. And I also like recessed screws. That is my, you know, like dream pocket clip. They do exist. I've seen it on some models. But that's what I like.
So Slicey Dicey's in the chat.
Oh, snap.
Let's just throw him up here. What's up, Slicey? Definitely go check his channel out. If you guys aren't, you guys are already subbed to him. I don't know why I'm telling you guys, but just in case, because we do get the people that randomly come in here that are new, and definitely go sub to Slicey Dicey.
Slicey, I'll see you in 2 weeks, bro. Tuesday, man. We doing a pod.
So with deep carry clips, right? My only issue with them is that when you get to a certain size knife in a hand, because you know how they loop over, you know, they can tend to be a little frustrating in the hand, right? And especially when you're at a certain size, it can be a little bit of a hot spot. Now, I do find though, as long as they inset them, right? If they put them into the scale, that's not so much of a problem. But when they put them right on top of the scale, it just is so proud. And right there at the very tip of the end of the knife, it just tends to really get me. Now, other size knives can do it just fine, and I would prefer that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Slicey says, I like it deep and recessed also, if you know what I mean.
I think he's referring to buttholes. No, I'm
hey, have you tried the Kizer?
The butthole? I'm kidding.
The butthole. Yeah. Have you tried that? Specifically Slices. No. Have you tried the mini bag lighter too, the new one?
You know what? I have not, and I've always wanted to. I've tried the bag lighter, the original.
Dude, it's not the same whatsoever.
Really?
Because they put bearings on this, and then they did what they call their new bearing system, which is basically they polished the area where the balls roll, the ceramic balls, and they pushed it so far to one side where all the weight is on the blade end. And like, remember I was telling you before about where they made those little cutouts for where you can get the oil down into, that takes off more weight, and it just makes it so snap. I mean, like the detent is so crisp. I almost want to say that they might get the best thumb stud action of the year from me.
What?
Because, yeah, dude.
Kizer,
the large one or the small one, they're both phenomenal. And deep carry clip, and the mini one is your size, bro. This is a good size for you. Good geometry.
That's not an Asian joke. That's literally I have to carry 3-inch knives.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people like that though, because I get that comment a lot saying, "Oh, it's over 3 inches. I can't do it." Which I hate for them, but
okay. Yeah, I actually like. I carry sometimes over 3.5. Like, and I mean, I just stay in my CBD shop anyway, and I'm just flipping the knife constantly. That's the most use I get out of it. And I don't carry like out of pocket, so I don't really have a fear of like, what is that? And then the police just tackle me, and I wind up on the news, and it's like EDZ YouTuber carrying fucking cold steel gets killed for having a green card by 10 policemen or some shit.
Yeah, definitely. Alex's Knives and Such. Hey, man, thank you. Oh, I gotta pull it up. Thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. We appreciate all donations. It really helps the channel a lot. It is not cheap running a channel, and thank you guys, everybody who donates. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Alex.
Trying to get on the podcast. Look, he's right there. Robbie, say hello, buddy. He's sort of a mascot now because he's always sitting there when I'm doing a podcast. He usually goes over there.
Yeah, we got our mascot, Douglas. Yeah. And then he's got his tips. Somebody sent us his girlfriend.
Oh shit, what's she called?
She is oh man, babe. She's not down there. I think it was like Dawn or something, because it was Douglas and Dawn or something like that. I forget now. Now I feel like such an asshole. She's so quiet. So
yeah.
Douglas is so loud. So
is Kara playing COD right now?
She might be. I'm not positive.
She should just stream on Twitch, bro.
I know.
You guys could bring in some extra cash on that.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure, especially her being, I don't know, because I've talked to her about that, and she used to want to. I don't know if she still does or not. Yeah. But
you know what? I'm gonna get into it, right? And then I'll tell you all the shit that I learned, and then maybe it'll make her want to do it because like she already knows the path to fucking do it. So I'm gonna start streaming next week. I got everything set up already. Like setting up your channel on Twitch is so confusing. Like you gotta do the layout, and I gotta like research like, oh, where do I get the free ones? And then I gotta watch YouTube videos to teach me like how do you edit panels and like all this shit, because the menus are much more complex than doing YouTube.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Anytime I start something new, it's like going to a whole nother dimension for me. I am so confused. Just like even now when we were talking about me checking out TikTok, right? Yeah, I can watch TikTok videos, but making a video and putting it on there, I don't know the first thing about doing it. I'm gonna learn though, because like Instagram is the same way for me, and I wanted to start growing a platform on Instagram, and I do a lot of sharpening stuff. I do a lot of different stuff. But even though I've had an Instagram for a while, like I just recently, really fell into a groove that where I guess I'm getting good at it.
And you enjoy it, right? That's one
Yes.
thing that I've been thinking about a lot.
You
Is
have
like,
to. You have to.
because we had a podcast together that I uploaded on Friday morning, which is like, dude, every time you guys are on, it's like one of the better shows that I have.
Yeah.
The TikTok event. I be going TikTok mad hard, but no, what I was saying is like, because you were telling me like, you have to, in order to get better numbers. I mean, my channel is growing like, every month, right? But it's like I could be getting more numbers, but I think I'm stuck in this place right now where I haven't narrowed down what it is I want to create, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely a content creator. I am just not just a knife reviewer, because I want to make content on a bunch of shit, but I have to do it in a way that is gonna be like my style, right? So when people watch, like, if I'm checking out a GoPro Hero 9 Black or something, they'll know to expect like the style of review or video or whatever. And I'm trying to nail that and combine it with the podcasting, because I'm never giving up podcasting. I fucking love it so much, dude.
I get it. And that is a thing though, where
you got to enjoy it, is what I'm saying. I forgot. I'm trying to call back to the Instagram. It's like,
you have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Then people have to know where they're going and what they're getting from it. Because there's like, okay, so say if you're doing entertainment, right? If they're coming there for entertainment, then that's what they're coming there for. If they're coming there to learn something, then they're coming there to learn something. But they have to kind of know what they're getting into. If it's randomized, a lot of times that winds up backing people off. And also, like we were talking about before, you have to play the algorithm, because that's what's going to bring new people in to see your stuff. You can't put this way, you can't grow without playing the algorithm to some extent, because how do you get it in front of new people's eyes? You'll wind up just having the same people, which isn't a bad thing to keep. You want to keep the same people, but I'm saying though, if it's only the same people, it never gets in front of new people's eyes. And that's why you have to, and the way you get in front of them is by getting your watch time up, your views up, and then the comments and things like that, because then the algorithm says, okay, people like this video, we'll share. Like YouTube tells me, when I do better, right? So when I do a video, and if it does way better than my other videos, they'll tell me that they're basically like it's reaching more people and things like that. It'll tell me like all that stuff, so I can watch my thing and see how well it's doing for people that don't know my channel.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get that from Instagram a lot. Like when one of my reels like blows up, I don't get it a lot. See, my YouTube, I think, has like been growing a little bit slower. My TikTok is like almost at 7K. My Twitter is kind of like whatever. I kind of just like talk mad shit on it. But but my Instagram, like sometimes be like, oh, your reel got more than 10,000 plays, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't get that on YouTube. Like, you know what I mean?
So do you like what you do on Insta or on? Let's go with Instagram. Do you like what you do?
I have to say right now, my favorite type of content to make is short form video, like reels, like either a comedy sketch about EDC or not about EDC at all. Podcasting is up there. And then I honestly don't really want to make knife reviews anymore. I really don't. I've been putting up these like unboxing ASMRs where it's like I'm trying to simulate what it feels for a knife guy when you get a mail call and you're slicing it with, you're using one knife to open the package, then you have another knife to, like flip open the thing, and then it's like even JT's Knife Life, like RIP JT's Knife Life channel, but he commented on my my reels and he was like, bro, I know you're a knife guy, even though you don't make knife content as much anymore, because you opened the package with a different knife, and then when you had to pop open like a smaller package inside, you used a smaller knife. And I was like, yeah, I am really a knife guy, but I'm just into a lot of other shit that I also want to show the people that watch me, and I'm just trying to narrow.
But if you don't think people can't feel it and see it, that you're not in it, right?
Yes.
Of course they can.
Right.
Of course they can. They can tell the passion. And that's why, like, if you're not into it, don't do it, right? Stick with damn podcasting, stick with comedy, stick with what you love, because that is going to if this is the right word, emulate from you, right? People are going to feel that vibe from you, and that's what's going to attract people to you and your personality. But if they're not, like with knives, right? If you're not constantly like wanting to learn and, you know, see this and show this and really in it, people feel that, right? They can feel that vibe from you. So you don't want to give off negative vibes from your channel, because that'll push people away. You want to keep them coming. So Mark H with the
Mark H. I fucking love that dude, man.
I know, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. So let's get into a couple more questions.
Keep going.
So you specifically, what is your best? Oh yeah, and just so you know, like this is how it's gonna go. We're gonna talk knives up into a certain point, and then after that certain point, it's basically just no holds bars. Okay, we talk about whatever we're everywhere.
Yeah, Kelly's gonna hop on in about, I'd say, 30 to 45 minutes. She's coming home now, so
and
you guys will see a cute gal.
Yeah, you know what I mean? For the first time.
This guy plows that gal once a week, yo.
And also we'll have some personal questions and things like that. And anybody who doesn't get into the personal crazy stories and stuff, they can always you know. All right, so best budget steel. What is your favorite budget steel to grab if you're just gonna think of like what your favorite is? I know you're not really like a steel nerd or anything like that.
I do know my favorite budget steel though. It's D2. No, I'm just kidding. It's not D2.
We lost everybody. Everybody just left.
Crazy one, right? Here's a crazy one because it was 14C28N for a long time, right? And then all of a sudden, like it kind of like dropped off the face of the earth, except Tucson. Like everyone forgot it. Right. And then
coming back though,
VB comes out with $60 knives that are with Nitro V on it. So is Nitro V a budget steel now? Like, I mean,
I would say that, yes.
Right? I like Nitro V too. You know what I mean? Too. Probably those two. 14C28N and Nitro V is probably what I like to like. I don't get to experience what they're actually doing because I don't sharpen as much anymore.
But it's funny you say that because technically the makeup of the two are extremely similar. You'd be surprised how similar those two steels are to each other. So it makes sense, right? Especially if you know, like if if you really like 14C, then it would only make sense to like the Nitro V.
I like the price, dude, and also I know it's better than it's a little bit more fun steel than D2. I like sharpening 14C28N way better than sharpening D2. I mean, I'm gonna be honest here.
How often do you sharpen?
When I first started my channel, I was sharpening all the time. I have a work sharp grinder. I have the KME. I try to build my own sharpener. Like watching these videos, and I try to like make my own wicked edge, bro. Like this is the amount of crazy shit I used to do in the first year of Everyday City Carry. Like I got into anodization. I was like anodizing shit in my backyard because I still lived in my family house. And I have a huge backyard. So I'm like, have like little buckets and shit with like, 9 volts. And I'm trying to do all this stuff. But yeah, one of those things was sharpening. And
that's awesome.
What I realized was I definitely learned like what good stones were and like how to use a KME and things like that. But I definitely, I'm not the type of, my personality isn't the type to like be patient enough.
Okay.
So like I'll be doing it right, and then like maybe I'll get to like stone number 3 or something, and I'm just like fucking trying to get in there,
get it done,
trying to finish it, and I don't have that. Maybe I'm just not a craftsman or something, I have admiration for that, but it's like when I'm doing it, I'm like, fuck, I just finish it in 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't rush that shit.
No. That's actually one of the biggest failures to an edge is trying to rush it because you actually go farther being more patient. What stones do you use for your KME?
Fuck, I haven't.
I mean, what I'm asking is, are they diamond or are they like aluminum oxide? Are they just like regular stones or are they diamond stones?
I'm pretty sure that they are. Well, the set that it came with was diamond stones.
Okay,
but then
because they have different sets depending on the price.
Yes.
You spend. Yeah.
And then the last two I think are not. I think one is like some red ruby looking thing, and then yeah, so it's like the finishing stones like at the end like are not. The one that like really gives it that that
The
shine.
Yeah.
Off. But yeah, I definitely use the diamonds in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I have. That's what I have. That's why, you know.
Well, in my opinion, that'd be the best way to go because it's a small stone, right? So you want it to cut as fast as possible, and diamonds are going to cut the fastest and not clog. Unless if there's certain types of diamond stones like veneves and things like that, but just regular diamond stones, they're not going to clog like say aluminum oxide, where you're going to have to, mess with them and everything.
I also just keep it at 20. Like when I get
20
a knife,
degrees,
I just keep it at 20. Really simple, really easy to do, and like maybe I am just correcting the weird ass grind that it came in, and it's already 20 usually.
Yeah,
and I just kind of like fix it and even it out. That's really what I'm not a big sharpening guy, you know.
Yeah, and for people that don't know what he was talking about just now, he's talking about the angle. So if you get a new knife, I'm going to say the majority, not all, most knives come in right around 20 to 22.5 degrees per side. Sometimes though, because they're doing it with a belt. So they're taking their knife and they're running across the belt. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be even. So you can, if you put it on a fixed angle system, you can straighten up some of the edge. But if the grind is off, the grind is off. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. So
wait, you won't be able to fix that?
No. Well, not by holding the exact perfect angle.
You're gonna have to shave it down to.
Well, what I'm saying is, so like the grind, right? So and I'm talking about not the edge, the actual grind of the side of the knife.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
If this is off from this side, there's nothing you can do but try to match it. You can try.
Yeah.
So, but what winds up happening sometimes is you'll adjust it and one part of the edge will match, but then the rest won't. So it's better to just try to match them both perfectly. And if you have a couple inconsistencies, life, right?
Yeah.
Life isn't consistent.
Knife life, bro.
Yeah. So what is your favorite action from knives?
You mean like
you're an action guy?
Deployment, probably, right? What's my favorite?
Yes. And closing.
I really like button lock, so I'm gonna go thumb stud and button lock or something is really fun. I'm kind of tired of flippers, I'm gonna be honest. I like them, but then the beginning I was just like, oh, everything's gotta be a flipper. It's kind of like when you first experience like speed safe, you're like, oh my god, this is all the knife I need, and now you're like, fuck that shit, you know. But I'm gonna go with I've been really feeling like thumb studs like lately, like much more. And if it's on an axis lock or a button lock or something like that's primo fidget material right there, dude. Front flipper too, though. I love front flippers.
Do you?
You know why? I love front flippers like that are 3-inch blade length, slim gentleman's carry stuff. Love that shit. That is.
I got something to show you. I got something to show you. So check this out, and then I want to comment on something you said.
Okay.
This is the new Megaron Pagos. It's a perfect size. It's a 3.25-inch blade, so medium size. It has thumb studs and a front flipper.
Wow.
But man, it's done very, very well. I do have one little issue that I'll talk about in the review. Any of you guys that did wind up buying it, don't worry. But there is one little issue that I already talked to the maker about. But man, like, some knives, you kind of feel, the little tiny details. It's like they didn't miss that, they hit that. It's really soft in the end. They hit everything on point.
How much is that?
This one is only $189, something like that.
What's the 180 full tie, and what's the blade steel?
$390, and it's got the blue marbled carbon. It's almost like fat carbon,
dude.
This is blue. I know you can't really see it, but it's blue and black.
I see it a little. And
it matches the thumb stud and the pivot collar.
What is it called? The company?
It's Megaron Knives.
Megaron.
I'll just pull them up really quick because I technically have.
That's that StreamYard, baby. We could post it up now.
Let me let's see if I can do this.
I got this bacon swag FL, bro. Front flipper, middle finger flick. Like, I'm all good.
I might be spelling that wrong. If I am, oh man.
Dude, bacon swag FL, like, be hooking.
I'm messing it up.
You know him, right?
Oh, it's Miguron. Miguron. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Bacon Swag FL be hooking it up, bro. You know him, right? Bacon Swag FL on Instagram.
Bacon. I have no idea what you're saying.
Yes, you do. He's a fuck. He sent you knives before, man. That's what he's.
Who? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not
now.
trying to pay attention to this at the same time. Say that again. Who? Bacon
Swag FL.
Okay. Damn. I see so many.
You know what's mad funny? Sea Salmons and Bacon Swag FL were like, yeah, Neeves Knives too busy for us now. We're gonna send you shit.
That's not true. Listen, I'll tell you what. A lot of times I remember their actual names.
That's fuck.
Why is this tab up here? I don't know what. Oh, chat with them. Okay, I'm gonna go down this really quick. So if you look, you can see this top layer. I don't know why this chat thing is right here.
You could minimize it. Press the minus button. Yeah, press that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
Asian boy.
Yeah. All right, so you see they have the red carbon fiber and then the blue. Really nice though. These are sweet, man.
For 190?
Yeah, I know. It's a good price.
Fiber?
And then they also have bigger knives, like because
I've seen this company before, I think. The
bigger one has been out a little bit, like a year or something, but the other one though just dropped. And yeah, man, I'm impressed, man. I'm liking it.
Bro, you got mods in your chat, bro?
Yeah, fuck yeah, we're big time over here.
That's what 9K subs gets you, bro. Mods.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anyone would want to mod my chat, man. I have no idea.
Well, to be honest, after a minute, you kind of need them. Like with me, I never thought I would need them, and then we wound up realizing because we had trolls come in.
I've had trolls, bro. Just like I had bots, bro. Bots like.
Right, that's
F bombs and N bombs, yo. And I'm not talking about the word fuck. You know what I mean?
Right. We've had people come in like they'll sit there and just like their name is something crazy, and then they'll just say something crazy, and they'll just drop like 100 things in the chat, and it's like we can't even talk. But then also, when I'm talking to you and I say, hey, can somebody drop a link? One of them usually hooks it up, which is awesome because it's hard for me to do this at the same time.
Anybody watching right now, if you want to be a mod on EDCC, I will give you mod rights, bro.
Well, I think what it should do is you don't want to base it off of that. In my opinion, you want to base it off of who shows up just about every time. Obviously, nobody can show up every single time, but if you have somebody
there are a few that do, and I'm sure they show up to you too.
80% of the time, then that's somebody who's reliable to the channel.
Yeah.
As long as you trust them. Okay, so now we were talking about your favorite action. And you said the thumb. So do you know what I find myself sometimes doing? But this is just a mostly me thing.
Okay.
I like all action. It doesn't really matter. But sometimes I think about running into the somewhat knife guy, right? Because I'm sure you think about it sometimes, like, what if you run into that guy who is fascinated with the knife and wants to check it out?
Yeah.
Or what if you do run into a real knife guy? And like you think about, I personally think about that, but I know for sure, like say if I talk to somebody at work, somebody, I don't really know, and they're kind of fascinated with it and they want to check it out, the best thing to put in their hand is a flipper. And I know like it's kind of old for us, but I still like a good flipper.
I like it. I definitely like it.
Yeah, right. It's not like you're opposed to it, but there are so many different actions out there. But I think about that sometimes when I think about like leaving, like if I run into somebody, man, this would be a good flipper. Or if I already know I know where I'm going, I know who I'm gonna run into. This is a knife, like it's usually a flipper that I think about when I think about showing a knife off to somebody, just because it's easy for them. You can't hand a front flipper to somebody who doesn't, flip knives.
Oh, dude, I've done it, bro. Let me tell you right now. Let me tell you what happened. Right? So Urban EDC Supply, they're in the Apex Pass Round group. They send us stuff. And they sent me a Justin Lundquist, the Baby Barlow. Okay. Baby Barlow. Yeah. And that shit is like 220 or something. All right. And this was the prototype. they literally specified. Urban EDC Supply was like, hey, don't mess this one up. Stupid me didn't realize how much that shit was. I brought it to work. I'm playing with it. You know, somebody that like knows one of the owners at the shop is like, hey. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, that's a cool little knife there. And I'm like, yeah, man, this thing, you know, it's pretty dope. He wanted to see it, and it's a front flipper, bro. Does that shit, falls onto the fucking like whatever the tile or some shit, rolls the edge, bro. Rolls that shit. And look, the story gets even crazier. So I volunteer. I'm like, hey, I will pay for this. I will buy it. I'm so sorry. Blade Banner is, Blade Banner deals with so much shit when it comes to me. Like, because I'm holding on to knives for too long. He hits up Urban EDC Supply. They say it's okay. They hit me up on Instagram. They're like, do you want to do quad pay on it? And I'm like, sure. That helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
Get this. This is what happened. When the drop happened, right? When it was finally released, they sent me another fucking knife. Me, being the good guy that I am, posted it on Instagram, a video of it, and I'm like, do you guys want me to keep this? Like,
right.
And they told me to send it back, yo.
Yeah.
And I sent back the extra copy. Because I'm a good dude. But
you should be. In this community, I think your word is your bond. You should definitely stick to your integrity.
I'm like,
you know what happened to us one time?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, Kara was buying me the DW2, the Dave Warren. Got it over. Anyways, and that's a $250 knife, $240 knife. Well, she accidentally bought it twice.
What?
Just accidentally, yeah. And she called Dave and said, listen, I accidentally, got it twice, and they sent two knives. And he was like, no worries. He's like, I'll refund you the money. And she goes, I'll send it back as soon as I can, and he's like, don't worry about it. Just get it back when you can. He refunded because it was on Christmas. We needed that money. Like, we needed that money.
Damn.
And I still had to buy her something. Like, it was like we had no room for error on the budget. And
you gave her the other Dave Warren. You're like, you're a Christmas baby.
Sure fault. But no, Dave Warren was awesome about it. Refunded the money with no, it was awesome. He's an awesome dude. I love Dave Warren, man. Good guy.
How was the knife?
Oh, dude, I love that knife. That's a knife that will never leave this collection. Not only because it's from Kara, but I find that knife is like one of the best knives. If you say I want a knife around the $200 mark, I think it's like $220 or something like that, that feels like a $500 knife. The DW2, Tuya NV2.
The Tuya NV2.
Yes, it feels like a $500 knife. It really does. And I'm not the only person that said that. I actually am not even the first person that said that. I heard like 5 other people say that, and then it was I thought the same thing, and so I just started repeating that too because I felt the same way.
Yeah,
it's refined so good, the action's so good, the detent is so good, so many things on it are great. So next question, is there a knife you don't like? Like, and let me say this. Let me rephrase it.
Yes.
Is there a knife that's been bad to you, or that you're just like, I don't like it? That's not for me. Fuck that knife.
I know of a knife right now, and I actually did trash it.
Even in a review?
I didn't do so. When I get a knife that like I really don't like, I usually don't review it anymore. I kind of like take the Nick Shabazz route, where I should hit up the maker or the manufacturer, but I didn't. I did blast it on my Instagram though and my YouTube. So it is the Best Tech Freefall. All right.
The Best Tech Free.
Just
keep talking. I'm gonna pull it up.
Google that shit. That shit is like $200 something. And it is just hot spots all over. It is like meant to look like a dagger that came out of someone's like asshole. Like it's like, it looks like a poop that's like sharp and shit. Right. Actually, it is featured on the Instagram page Poop Knives. Like,
no shit.
Yeah, check it out. Dude, that shit, bro.
Oh, okay.
Bro, that shit is so bad, dude. And look, my picture is right there.
Oh,
You see that colored one with the wood?
Oh yeah.
That's my picture. City carry, son. Yo, that so what happened was in the video, I was like, you know, when you first get a knife, you're kind of enamored with it, and you're like, oh, this is dope because it's new, right?
Yeah.
When I got to work, because I carried it that day to try it. When I got to work, like I edited the video already. Before I uploaded it, I recorded a video at work to say, like, listen, I am not promoting this because I actually really don't like it. But when I unboxed it, I still had that, you know, you're enamored by this knife at first. Yeah. It's probably the worst knife I've tried in the past like 2 years, yo. It's so bad, bro. Okay. Especially it's like over $200, yo. I don't want to knock my boy Outer Limitless because he's like the best tech rep right now, you know. But he's a dope, he's a cool dude. But that knife, I don't know.
It's funny you say that because after you said that, I thought of there's a best tech man. I can't think of the name. And I feel bad now. But I did review it, and it did not get a good review. It's got a spear point blade. I can't think of the name of it. I loaned it out to Alex's Knives and Such. Alex's Knives and Such. Can you remember, if he's still in here, can you remember the name of that best tech you just sent back? The action's good. It's solid, but the knife, man, I didn't like it, man. To me, it was shit. I did not like it. I thought the grind was thick. It's not a tall grind. Yes, the fin, the best tech fin. So
fin, like THIN?
FIN.
Oh, fin.
Yeah,
okay,
fin. So it's, let me just pull it up really quick. I did not give it a good review because of the grind. So this is the thing, is that the grind on it is not tall, right? It's not tall. So, and then you see, if you look in the middle of it, it's got that groove. So the edge or the angle of the grind is only this tall, right? And it's not thin behind the edge. It's basically like an axe on both sides because
it's not double-sided. So
right, because it's not double-sided, and because of that groove down the middle of the blade, it makes it where it's really thick. So okay, if you're literally only opening tape, it's fine. Well, let me say this: opening tape and self-defense, then it's fine. But if you're cutting any sort of cardboard, you're not going to like it. It's going to give you resistance the entire time. So to me, that winds up being, now don't get me wrong, there's a place for it, right? There's a place for it. Somebody who literally only opens packages and stabs people. Here's your knife, bro. Here's your knife.
Just by looks alone, like as a knife guy, that does not make my pee hard. I'm just
exactly. Not too tactical, right? Sometimes there's things that are just.
Sometimes, you know, knife just looks a certain way and it just doesn't appeal to me. Like,
you know it.
You know, I mean, there are plenty of knives that did that. And then I got it in my hand and I was like, I was completely wrong, bro.
Yeah. I agree.
Benchmade 940. I'm talking about you, baby.
Right. Yeah. I've had the same thing where it's like, I don't like it. Then I get it in hand and you're like, I like it. You know?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to just have it in hand, you know?
Yeah. And sometimes it is about that. And then I think some things don't relate well in a picture until you get it in hand. And then you really feel like, oh man, this is way better than I thought. Okay, so if you only had to deal with one knife company, just one, you can have any knife from them, you know, whatever, but it can only be one company, and that's the only company you can do business with. What company is it going to be?
That's really hard.
I know it is.
If you're talking like domestic, I'm gonna do
no. You can't do that. You can't narrow it down.
All right. If I had to choose just one, and I know I'm just gonna get fire knives every time, I'm gonna go TRM. Okay. I've never not liked any TRM before. I know they don't make a lot of models.
Yeah.
But they just kind of nailed it. And if I was just working with them, I was a brand ambassador and I'd just be getting scales and shit. Nah, I'd be happy.
You could change them up a lot.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy. You know, just fucking getting neutrons and atoms and like all this other shit like all the time and just crazy scale options. I'd be pretty happy. Second runner up would probably be like Wiha or something. They have a pretty good catalog. And you know, maybe
Big
that
catalog too.
maybe that unlocks a VV. I don't know, but those two probably for me, you know.
Yeah. With the TRM thing, if you do narrow everything down to one company, the one benefit is that you're not spending money over here on everything. And with like a company like TRM that only has so many models, that gives you the opportunities to get all those scales, to get all the, you know, all the features and everything, because you're saving your money and only buying, you know, a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, me personally, I would because okay, so I gotta go for the home team right now. So my brain wants to say react. My brain just wants to say react. But I'm gonna go with the home team and just say like something like say Spyderco, because
Dude, Spyderco gets you a lot of beautiful stuff though.
They do, and
you know,
they have a lot of different models, and they deal with a lot of different steels. Lately they've seemed like their heat treats are really good. And so I think I would do that, but luckily, I don't have to do that. Right? I don't have to do that. So I can fuck around and get any company.
That's one of the best things about like being a knife channel or a knife content creator, EDC content creator, is like you get a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that tech guys get a bunch of shit too, but I think we get more. Yeah, but I think we get more in terms of like quantity. You know what I'm saying? I think we get more. Because they're just getting like the new phones that come out, you know, but we're getting like hundreds of models every year. You know what I mean?
Man, I got to imagine like with the tech.
Yeah.
Computers,
I love tech too,
computers, phones, cameras, like iPads, I gadget this, I gadget
Depends on how big you are, bro. You know, if you're Marquez, MKBHD, or like fucking Unbox Therapy, you're getting everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you know what just got sent to me?
Yeah. What is
some clippers?
Like
hair and face.
Like Manscaped?
Yeah.
Shut up. You're
not Manscaped, not Manscaped. It's just a brand, just a crazy brand.
I've said this so many times. I'm like, Manscaped, hit up your boy, yo. I will shave my asshole on cam, yo.
Right.
I will fucking do because
write that check.
Lawnmower 3.0 or whatever it's up to right now.
This company, Knife Sergeant says, I guess I'm doing my channel wrong.
Look at Nap Sergeant. I love that dude too.
Me too.
Isn't that funny? Wait, what was the company that hit you up though?
It's just a random. It's like their things like men's hair clippers and beard trimmers or something like that, and it's just a random
name
thing.
Of the company.
No, that's like the name of the thing, and like they asked me to pick one out. They only had a couple, and and I picked one out. I got it yesterday. I cut my hair with it. I shaved with it and everything. It's pretty good. It is a rechargeable one, and it's like digital on the front. It's okay, right? It's pretty decent. But it's only like $35. However, I'm not that channel, right? But I'm not. I need a new set of clippers. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to refuse it, and I have no problem doing a short video about it.
Yeah. Do you cut your own like hair and shit?
I do, and you know what? I wanted to keep it longer on top.
Yeah.
Normally I keep it a little bit longer. I went a little shorter because this is why. Because the clippers that they sent, they don't like. Okay, and I've cut my hair my whole life. And they always have the numbers, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that. It's all by millimeter. It's all by millimeter. So like it was a little different. And I didn't have to rush it. You know, I would have figured it out, and I could have used my other set, but I just went for it. And my hair grows anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. But I would have liked to have left it a little bit longer. I did fade it though. Fade it. Like if you look on the side,
I can see it fading
right here. Yeah, like I've been doing it for so long, I can easily fade myself.
Bro, what's crazy is so the Kelly has been cutting my hair since quarantine. That's why I grew out the mane and the ponytail. But guess what? Chopping it all off tomorrow, bro.
No shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the clean cut boy because I'm getting married in like a month. Yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of pomade. I'm gonna have a little,
there you go.
I mean, kind of like everyday city carry year 2.5 or something. Like what I looked like then.
Yeah.
because Kelly saw a few old pictures of me when we were at my my mom's house, and she was like, "Yo, look like this again for the wedding." I'm like, all right,
So,
yeah.
so you're doing it specifically for the wedding, not necessarily because you like that haircut better than this one. Which one do you like better?
I definitely look. I mean, I've had a bunch of haircuts,
Me
bro.
too.
Like a lot. I've had like the crazy Dragon Ball Asian hair, the emo hair. I was bald a few times. I would just be bald and wear like caps to the side, like a Filipino b-boy, like I'm in fucking Jabberwock.
Pepe Designs is in the house.
Yo, Pepe!
No, it's Pepe.
What's up?
Sorry, not to cut you off. Go ahead.
But yeah, like, you know, I think I look better with it, honestly. But it's expensive, man, because Kelly doesn't know how to cut that style.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, the haircut tomorrow is gonna run me $45, bro.
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm saying?
it's not cheap to keep up with your
Yo,
men's hair,
I have a
man.
new webcam for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I get it.
man.
I get it. Now, one trick I'll just show you really quick. And this can help every guy in the chat, right? So when you cut your hair, I wish I had them sitting right here because I
get double mirror shit.
Well, if I just had the thing right here, I could show you exactly what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second because it's literally
I'll
just
carry the chat, bro. I'll carry the chat. So I hope you guys have been enjoying Neevesknives. If you do like the banter that you've been hearing with Jared and me, I uploaded another podcast on my channel, Everyday City Carry, that was uploaded on Friday. Also, if you want to see my feet and Kelly's boobs, go to patreon.com/everydaycitycarry. That is what we do over there, maybe, but 100%. We have a podcast every week, an extra podcast with me and a cute girl watching videos on TikTok and all over the internet and making you guys laugh. $5 a month?
So,
what are you doing, bro?
So this is the set, okay? And you see how it's got like tells me how long it's on. But when you do hair, right?
Yeah.
Your head shape is going to be based on your haircut when we're talking about a fade, right?
Yeah.
So the one thing you want to do, like if you want to do it yourself or if Kelly wants to do it, when you do your head shape, because that's what's going to be based on. So right here on the sides, okay, you see how you have this flat angle right here. Set that there, okay? When you're doing your sides, go straight up. When you get to here, just go straight up. Don't turn. Straight up, straight up, straight up, and then do that all the way around. When you get to this part, the same thing, just straight up. Don't turn this corner here. You just go straight up and you'll follow the curvature of your head. Then you can do the top part. You do however long you want, right? The top part. But then you're going to have to get that happy medium range between the set you have on top and the set you have on the sides and do just that little angle right there. Don't go all the way up. Don't go, because it doesn't matter how far down you go. It's about how tall you go. So just right there, all the way around. And it's real simple. And once you do it, you realize that it does it itself. Like you don't have to be a professional or anything like that. You just follow it's like tracing almost in a way. Hey,
that's amazing, bro. Everybody, welcome to Neeves City Barbershop.
Well, soon we're gonna have a barbershop video of Neevesknives.
Dude, what I was just thinking right now for a cross.
Thank you, Meg.
For a cross collaboration, if like for some reason, like some barber shop channel like falls upon one of our channels and they're like in town, just like come to a live and like cut our hair and promote your shit.
Yeah.
Like, I want that to happen more in the knife community, honestly. That's why I'm trying to bring in more like different types of people to my show, because I like talking to people. This is my favorite thing to do.
The only way that will happen, there's the only one way this will happen. So like obviously the hair thing sent to me because it's a guy channel.
Yeah.
Even though I'm up to like 3 or 4% females, just so everybody knows, okay? All right. But where you're gonna really see
yo, come over here.
Hey, what's up, Kelly?
Snap, yo, we gotta get.
What do you want?
What's that?
We got about 10 more minutes.
Get on the mic,
even though this ain't knife related. We got about 10 more minutes of knife related comment, and then we're going all out.
What happened?
But hold on, wait.
No, you could. Don't do that. She's gonna ask me something.
I can't hear anything.
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right. So the question is, I came home with nutcrackers and margaritas and alcohol.
Wait,
and
so you have nutcrackers, margaritas.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the best thing that you have?
What the hell does that mean?
Like, do you try them at work, right, or not?
No.
All right. So
No.
I'll have what's a nutcracker? Is that
I'm just gonna bring it all in here.
all right, cool.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
bring
we're
it-
gonna get crunk,
Do
bro.
you want any food? I brought you a Krispy Kreme's donut.
Give me one of those empanada things.
Empanadas.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I'll have the donuts
Okay.
later.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be back.
Dude,
So
I got best wife right now.
yeah, you do. Well, no, you don't. But
Alcohol,
you got a
donuts,
good one.
and
You got a good one,
empanadas,
sure.
bro. That's crazy.
All
All right, so let's go. Let's ask some more questions because I know.
Well, I want to finish
friends and shit.
I want to finish that little topic really quick. So the
Okay,
one
okay,
where
okay.
you'll get a collab, right? Like
Yeah.
is in the same genre, right? So like say campers, outdoor stuff, anything outdoors, or not even necessarily outdoors. It could be indoors. So it could be like urban EDC stuff, things on the go, bags, belts, packs,
bro.
So you have other channels that are large that are in that type of genre, even if they're tech, right? Like EDC tech type stuff of like urban EDC tech or outdoor tech, things like that. They can all collab as long as it's in the same genre. And you can, I mean, yeah, it's badass to definitely collab because you guys can share each other's you know
what it is? I think that fucks me up is like I watch a lot of these podcasts, right? I watch a lot of these podcasts like Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon Show, Your Mom's House, The Fighter and the Kid, and it's like they are talking to literally anyone that they are interested in talking to, right?
Yep.
And
I'm fascinated with that too.
And that is like what I want to do. It's like if I want to talk to a gal or a guy that just has like a true crime like content like channel or something where they just talk about these grisly crimes and shit, like fucking, you know.
I do that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I watch that too. I would love to talk to somebody from that world, or like a person that streams like only Resident Evil games or something, and I like find out what their experience is, because I want to talk to other content creators too. That's like really the place where I want to get to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so I totally agree. So I really get into that stuff. But one thing I do know is that you have to grow a platform on something that where people like you, they get your personality, they understand it, and they're attracted to it. Then you can really start spreading your wings and opening up more doors.
Wait,
but
is this THC fucking infused, bro? Am I getting high as shit right now?
It's just alcohol.
Okay. Damn, bro, she brought in 3 drinks. Look at these. Bro, Krispy Kreme? What? Babe, we can't eat this while we're on the podcast.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna turn off my mic when I eat this shit. All right.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Looks like my Aunt Dawn's in the house. Okay, so what time is it? We got 7 more minutes of knife related.
Okay, come on, let's do one more knife question. Let's do that.
Let's do one more.
Let's have Kelly answer that. This is the Kelly, by the way, for everyone who doesn't know her. This is my co-host in life as well as on Everyday City Carry. If you want to see more of this gal, head on over. We fucking do a live show every Monday. We do a Patreon every Sunday, and I upload a podcast every Friday. Nick Shabazz is the guest next week.
I just fought with this microphone stand and I
you
almost
want me to help
lost.
you out? You want me to help you out a
Nope.
little bit right
Nope. I have
turn
to
it
win
like
this
that.
fight on my own.
All right, what's the question, bro? Let's go.
Okay, so this one's gonna be fashion knives versus functional knives. I know you. So you already know. Let me explain it really quick. So a fashion knife is going to be something that looks good with your gear, something that matches you, something maybe the colors match your outfit, or maybe it's just your style of knife, something that looks really cool. Not necessarily the greatest cutter. Most likely it has good action though. So the action's probably on point and it looks really cool. Now the functional tool is going to have a good sharpening choil. It's going to be it's going to make sense. So the grind is going to match the handle. The ergos are going to be good. It's going to have a good functional clip, and it's going to be the best tool for the job. What is your opinion on both, and which one do you prefer?
Okay. So, I actually do have some fashion knives here, in my opinion. Okay. I think when it comes to fashion, And I know this because I posted a bunch of knives from this company onto my Twitter, and I have a lot of sneakerheads and like hype B Supreme people on my Twitter that are following me, and I always get a good response to stuff that Steel Will is doing. So when it comes to like fashion-esque knives that are matching your kicks and stuff like that, I think Steel Will does it the best right now. They have a lot of colorful variations and stuff like that. This is the Kobold right here. When I posted this, I had girls, bro, that were like, "Oh, that's so
Yeah, that
cute."
one's super cute.
Like, see, my girl loves this shit. You know what I mean? Look at that backspace.
Yeah.
It's orange. It's small. It's tiny.
Yep.
If you're wearing orange kicks or an orange hoodie with some black jeans, bro, and you whip that out to cut a box at Tommy Hilfiger, a store you're working at, you're getting looks.
Yeah.
The other one right here is
Did we just have a Mrs. X flashback?
no. This is the CJRB Crag. This is the Amazon exclusive. It's all black.
There's Amazon exclusives?
Yeah, it's an Amazon exclusive. Russell sent it to me. Shout out to Russell from Artisan Cutlery and CJRB. But look at this. You're wearing all black and you're wearing like red Jordans, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is lit right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like the Gobi better. I think it has a red backspacer. That's why. And that like looks much cooler. I don't have it out right now. I do prefer like functional knives more because I can't flash my stuff in New York City.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Even
So it's only for you, the flash. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do like seeing it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do like seeing it. And I do think that fashion knives do better in a social setting. Let's say you're at a party where you're there and people trust you there and they ask you what you're up to and you say, yeah, I have a knife channel and shit that like knives, and you whip out like some colorful combination thing. They're going to be more responsive to that.
Yeah.
But for me, I do like.
Oh, that's a no for me.
Not good.
Oh no, it's straight alcohol. That's
I'm gonna try
I just
the
got
other
punched
ones.
in the face. I'm serious.
I do like function more. If it can cut cardboard really well for a day and it has good action, that's the kind of knife.
Yeah.
I go with the pretty ones. I just want to throw that out there.
Kelly likes the pretty cute ones, like a Victorinox classic, the Trash Panda edition, or Mark H Center. Because my girl actually succulents. Shout out to Happy Go Sucky on Instagram. He sent her a Victorinox classic with succulents on it.
Yes.
And my girl loves that. So my girl is at that. That's where she's at in her EDC journey right now. I
try to find the knife that is both functional and fashion, and I have yet to find one that has fully satisfied me on all sides.
Okay.
That also goes for the men in her life.
Right. So I want to backtrack to you with CGRB. So Bree says his friend, his coworker, had one of those CGRBs and he said it was terrible. I haven't tried it, but I do want to respond on
which knife was it though,
because I have a grudge.
With CGRB.
No, well, specifically Russell. I do.
What?
And I haven't really spoken about it too much because I don't like to bring street beef to the community. So I did a review on a CJRB or an artisan, and it got we talked about that knife earlier that I didn't like. No, this one was way beyond that.
You know what it is?
It had some crazy name. It was just a crazy blade chip. It was so unrealistic, didn't make sense. Everything was shit on it, and I shit all over it, right? Of course, accordingly. Well, he contacts me and he's like, I seen your review. I'm sorry you didn't like it. Sorry, this and that. He's like, I'd like to send you some knives, right? To check out or whatever. I said, awesome. I got crickets after that. Then
I sent it to you?
He ghosted me. So then I contacted him like,
let me interject from my boy here. Okay. So
go ahead.
Is my boy. He's done my podcast 2 times. And the same thing that's happened to you. This literally happened to me many times. So you got to imagine this, right? Russell is the customer service and also the rep responsible for contacting like content
Lots of
creators.
people. I get it. I
And
get it.
it's like, bro, like before he went to Blade, he was like, "Hey, what's up, dude? I got the Tigress. You know, it's the new budget model from CGRB. You want one?" And I was like, "Yeah." I set one aside for you. And you know, I get ghosted.
Yeah.
But what happens is like he'll come back a couple of months later and he'll be like, "Yo, I'm so sorry I didn't send it to you. Here you go."
Yeah.
He's
So
always like, you know.
let me finish the story though.
Okay,
So
go
then,
ahead,
a couple months later, I
Mhm.
contacted him. I said, "Hey, you know, I'm sure you got busy. You know, no harm, no foul. I said, are you still going to be able to do that? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't remember exactly what was said. And I told him there was something I was really interested in. Long story short, I wound up buying it, but he said, yeah, let me see what I can do. He did say something like that one was kind of you know, a little bit harder to get right now, but I didn't really care specifically about that one. It was just, you know, it's like you contacted me like, are you still wanting to do that? Ghosted me again. And so I haven't contacted him since. I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna talk. You know, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't talk to him. Like, listen, man, I'm fucking kidding. Kind of half of this, right? Like, I don't really care, but I do feel slightly like,
yeah, it puts a taste in your mouth.
it does put a
Like
taste in your mouth
irritating
because
taste you
he
wanted me to
contacted me. I didn't outreach. Like, if I would have reached out to the company and then asked, it would be slightly different. But he reached out to me. Right. And, you know, so, and I understand being overwhelmed. Trust me, I deal with a lot of people, but on that same note, I deal with a lot of people. Right. So I kind of also understand. And I also understand not trying to ghost people, especially, and I'm not saying anybody's better than anybody when I say this. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, if I reached out to somebody and said like something, like I at the very least I'll keep up with them, you know, like Russ, right? Russ is in the chat. You know, I told him one time that Russ, he's in the chat somewhere. I told him a while back that I would send him the Yo Jumbo, right? Never forgot it. I never sent it to him. Right? But I kept in touch with him, like, hey bud, do you still want to check it out? Because I didn't have it for a while. I sent it out to somebody and they had it for a couple months. But then finally when I got it back, it's like, hey, I got it back. Do you still want to check it out? Whatever. So it's just like, it's like those little details, like, of keeping up with those things. Now, like I said, I'm not really holding a grudge, but I do find myself looking at some CGRBs and be like, oh, should I get that? Oh, fuck Russ.
Okay, so I'm gonna I'll give you this little like story, which is not a knife story, but it is related. That I had at one point reached out to somebody who I know, someone who knew this person who is a like clothing designer. And so she was making face masks during the pandemic, and I reached out to her to have some made. And same thing, like, yes, absolutely, I'll make them up, and then just ghosted me. And so I thought, oh, okay, you know, this has to be a one-off. Maybe she's just super busy. So I reached out to her a second time. Oh, yeah, I've got it. I'm gonna get right with you. And again, ghosted me. I let it go. A few months later, she had posted something about some of like her clothing. Anyway, she did it to me 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. Where I was like, where I kept going, okay, maybe it's just, and then I just realized, no, it's her. She's just really shitty at business. And I obviously just shouldn't be dealing with this person. But every time that I see her post on Instagram, I kind of go, don't hit her up. She's not gonna. She's not gonna.
Don't talk to her. She's gonna ghost you. She's gonna ghost you.
Everybody go to this Instagram page and flame her right now. I'm just
that's why I'm not saying who she is.
That empanada is out of this world,
Yes,
that shit is insane, bro.
Well, I have
my girl had a pop-up shop at A-List Unlimited today, which is the other CBD shop that my family owns.
Yes.
And they had food and stuff. And man, that empanada is crazy. I know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone. That was a story of Jared, this dad's life right there.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin. My dad, he lived a pretty crazy lifestyle and was pretty crazy. So he knew somebody for everything. You know, he knew the guy for the job, if you know what I mean. And
a little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of dude.
Yeah. One call does it all type of guy.
I have a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
This is a StreamYard question.
Yeah.
Did you change the the background of your StreamYard?
No.
Because there's like leaves and shit.
Yep.
That's the normal. I don't have that.
So
mine is all black, so I want to change it.
So you can go into the banners, brand.
Can you upload your own banner?
Yeah. Yeah. We've got 2 pictures on there, but to me, I look at it more like okay, so I want to do all those things, right? But I consistently in my head, like I think about other channels that don't have shit, but have a massive supporting. So to me, it's like I want to focus on the quality, the topics, and those things first, and then later on, I'll do all that stuff. I'll slowly but surely get those things in. I don't want to rush into those things before other things. So it's kind of like acting accordingly. And as I move along, eventually, I'll probably get a cool background. But
dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, whatever it is you're doing, you're fucking doing the right things, because you have catapulted yourself. And I said this on the podcast that we did on my channel. It's like Neevesknives has become a staple in the knife community. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I'm like, Neevesknives are gonna be on, they're like, oh my god, I love Neeves, or like anything like that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that from everybody, because it does we see a lot of people being really awesome with us and sharing some of our stuff and just being so cool. We can't thank people enough, man. People are this community's awesome. Nick Martino says even Russell has to know that not every CJRB is going to be hit. Absolutely, and I hold no grudge. Did you ever
try one of these?
The Rhea, right?
Yes.
I gave one away to one of the Patreons. Amazing knife. I want to get one in that micarta, because they got some fire micarta.
Yeah.
CJRB is killing it with their micarta.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into some of these questions. All right. Okay. So this one is for both of you. Actually, all of them are going to be.
You did a poll or something, or
I did. Yes and no.
Okay.
So I did one before you showed up in the chat before we went live, because I go 15 minutes early. I let the chat go, and then I jump in. People enter questions, but these ones are all from me, because through the days in between lives, I jot down little questions I think of and things I want to talk about.
This guy, bro.
So I have notepads everywhere, and so this is my specific live notepad, and this is literally like today. Before this, I made sure I got home early so I could jot down extra notes for this live.
What? So, this one, aren't you glad I'm friends with this guy?
Yeah.
This is like fucking.
You're not gonna be after this question. You're not gonna be after the question, homie. So
all right, okay. All right. Let's go.
Get ready. All right. Kelly's finger is stuck in a trap.
Okay.
And so is your penis.
Ooh.
Kelly's finger is stuck in a trap, and so is my penis.
Which one's getting cut off to free both of you?
Yeah.
My finger. I can't live without his penis.
Yeah, there you go. Very easy.
Also, I'm like double jointed, so I'm gonna get arthritis in these bitches anyways. So yeah,
good one.
That's one less arthritic finger. I'm good.
I should have went with an arm.
That would have been worse. The arm would have been harder.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was thinking there was going to be a little bit of
said the peen, though. I'm pretty sure she would say the peen.
I see. When I think of questions like this, I really think of them as serious. Right?
Like, good. We're having fun right now.
But I would say the difference between the finger and the arm would be that the arm wouldn't be an easy answer, because cutting it off could lead to death, blood loss, which would lead to death. So then the question would become,
who's gonna die?
Have a turn
right. Well, that I guess that would be in reality, right? In reality,
this is straight Hennessy.
So my girl brought 3 margaritas here.
No, 2 margaritas, and this is called the Nutcracker. This is Hennessy.
Fucked up.
I'm doing coffee.
I'm drinking all 3 of them. I'm drinking like all 3 of them, like sipping each one.
I know.
Because it tastes good. I'm gonna get crunk, bro.
I don't mind drinking every once in a while, right? Like with my family, I'll family occasions, I'll drink a little bit, but I don't like to drink too much, because I'm in a real high workout phase right now, where I'm trying to keep my testosterone as high as possible, and alcohol can lower it. So that's why I'm and I'm not on TRT or anything like that. So I focused on that a lot. And so I don't like to I'll still have a couple drinks here and there, but I'll never I try to keep it separated in between good sleep, good food, good, less, not so much stress. Because man, I can get a lot of stress from.
Dude, what's crazy is like I think that I am not a better content creator because of how much work I put into fitness. I don't think I talk about this enough, but I work out 6 days a week.
Okay.
I wake up no later than 7:30, sometimes 6 a.m.
Yeah,
I cook food for the day,
and
then I work out 6 days a week, different parts, whether it's legs, it's arms, you know, and then
are you giving yourself enough rest?
45 minutes to an hour? Yeah, I sleep like anywhere from 7 to 8 hours a day at least.
No, I mean rest in between your workouts.
I take a day off on Sunday, but I don't do like workouts that are so crazy.
All right, hold on, wait. Let me break this down.
Go ahead.
So I've set up his workouts so that he is actually separating his parts of the body. So
right.
So he's I made it. So one day he has 2 different leg days out of those 6 days. And
I fucking hate those days.
He hates them, but it is strategically set up by me so that he doesn't overexert himself.
But you know, the positive of those 2 leg. How long have I been like lifting like seriously, like 6 months or something?
About
yeah. So I'm on 6 months, and I feel like I look way beefier than when I first started this channel. So like whatever she gave me to do is working, and I'm just to follow that. But what I was trying to make,
and
a point
also we should say that we always look like alcoholics, but the only time that we have a drink is on a podcast,
bro.
We actually don't drink other than
on
that.
a podcast or on a live. That's the only time we drink. It's against
every now and then, even if we go out to eat, though, because you have to remember in New York City, it's so expensive.
$20 a drink, bro.
It's like you might as well buy a bottle for what you pay for one glass of wine.
That's like that
Right.
Yeah. So we look like alcoholics because we constantly have a drink, but it's the only time that we drink. So
next question, bro.
Fun. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Okay. Have either one of you ever been arrested?
I've never been arrested. But I was put in a car. I was put into a cop car. I was put into a cop car one time, and then I was ambushed by the police another time.
So you were detained.
Okay. So what happened was, and I think I talked about this on a podcast before. So I grew up in the New York City public school system. So there's a lot of crazy shit. You're literally taking train rides anywhere from 1 to 5 miles away from your house when you're like in 6th grade. Okay. So in the 6th grade, I remember that like these 2 kids were gonna fight, bro. Right. And like there was a crowd of like school kids. They were like, yeah. And I knew that they were not gonna fight that day. And I was trying to be the good guy and prevent these kids from getting in trouble that were crowding it. Right. Okay. And I knew both parties. And there was cops there too. So
already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's cops everywhere.
There's cops,
everywhere. Bro, in New York City, there's cops on every block. So I'm like, you know, everybody go home. Like, they're not even gonna fight today or whatever. They took that as a sign that this kid knows something. I'm in the 6th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
They take me and cuff me. Everyone is watching me, and I'm gonna tell you this though, it definitely made me look like a badass for the chicks. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I was wearing a Tommy Hilfiger shirt, the only Tommy Hilfiger shirt I owned because we were poor as fuck, and I had sunglasses on. I was getting cuffed, getting put in the cop car. I was like, "Don't worry about me, wait for me." No. But so they would just ask me a bunch of questions like, "Well, you know, what's going on and whatever." I was like, "Look, you know, these kids, man, it's just kid stuff," and I didn't give them a hard time.
Yeah. The reality is they already knew.
Yeah, and they brought me. Dude, the worst part of it though was they brought me home, right? Like right away. I didn't even spend an hour with them. They just talked to me a little bit. They tried to play good cop, bad cop with me, but I was very forthcoming with the information that I was openly saying in public. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, they brought me home, and my oldest brother was there, and I had 2 cops bring me to the door and shit. And that was the first time. The second time. I was coming home from school, right? High school already. I was a sophomore, I think. And I had blonde hair, right? And all of a sudden, 3 cop cars came and like surrounded us. I was with 2 of my friends, my boy and his girl, and it was me. And they fucking like, you know, they were like searching us and stuff. They were like, "Do you have any weapons on you?" We've been getting reports
You guys had like a stop and frisk thing though, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So this was I was in sophomore high school. They pushed me to the wall and shit, and they were like, we've been getting reports. See, look at Nick Martino.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, Kelly.
I did.
The Kelly did have her hair done recently. I'm pretty sure it cost $300 fucking.
It did not.
But
thank you for asking.
I mean, she looks great, so I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been saying this ever since you've been going to this guy, Miguel. You've been looking like a snack, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I've always been going to Miguel since you've met me.
You know what I mean? No, but
it's not a good way to start a sentence.
Ever since you got
since she's been going to this guy Miguel.
No, but here's
if you knew Miguel, you would know how
thing,
wonderfully
right?
fabulous he is.
Here's the thing that makes our relationship really good. Is I can say shit like that and I don't get in trouble.
Oh.
She's not gonna come back and be like, "What you mean? Ever since I've been going to Miguel, I wasn't pretty before that." She doesn't do that. She just knows that Ray's brain is just trying to go into this.
He's talking about my bangs, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah,
I got bangs that hit my forehead.
This is Kelly's look. This is what I told him that I was cutting my hair tomorrow because of you.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the second time that I got detained by police.
So they started searching you. When they started searching?
Well, yeah, I didn't finish the story. So I was hanging around with these gangsters like around 69th Street and Woodside, and they were like mugging people. Yeah. Right. And I knew that. And they were getting like calls, on 911, like somebody just robbed me. It was these Asian kids with blonde hair. So they, of course,
you fit the bill.
Yep.
But the funny thing is, I knew those guys. Like I was hanging out with them. I didn't rob anyone really, like at that time. But like they, and I was like, I don't fucking know what you're talking about. This is fucking racism or whatever. And they let me go. I didn't get arrested or anything. They would just like. Because if they found weapons on me, then I would have, I would have.
Well, you can't afford to get in trouble because of the green card thing. So
accurate.
It's a very dangerous.
That is accurate. There's no add to that. That's accurate. That is an accurate statement.
So, but to kind of touch on the one thing, like you are who you hang out with, right? If you hang out with people with, like, say, put this.
I mean, I don't anymore. I hang out with you guys.
I'm not saying now. I'm saying like even in my past, anybody's past, right? When you hang out with people, right? When a cop they've arrested them, they know what they do, they know their routines, they know all that, and now you're with them. You suddenly fit the bill because people don't hang out with people unless if they associate the same lifestyle. Usually, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm saying from their perspective. So you're going to look accordingly like them, and so from their perspective, that of course they're going to treat you like that, right? And they can't afford to not, right? Because you got to think about even you, right? If right, if you were that officer and you rolled up on 3 people you've arrested before, you've gotten one for aggravated battery, you've gotten one for robbing an old lady at gunpoint, you've gotten this one for this, and then there's the other guy you haven't met yet. You don't want that to be the guy who ends your life that day, right? Yes. You never know. And I've been in many situations like that, and I've told stories on here where I've been robbed by cops, I've been beat up, I've told all kinds of stories, and but
they were like, please run your wallet right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I got the speed trap. That was my favorite.
The speed trap? Oh, I've had those.
Oh, I had the speed trap, but it was the sad irony of that story is that I actually was in college at the time, and my car was a Ford Contour, so I just want to throw that embarrassment out there. So I had a Ford Contour, and I was going home to a friend of mine's funeral. And so I'm on the highway, and it's a huge highway. And of course I get I'm in the fast lane, and I'm next to an 18-wheeler, and then a car behind me. I can't see his headlights. He's so close. So what do? I speed up to get over. And as soon as I speed up, lights go on, pew, pew. So I panic and I pull over to the left, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to the right. But I went to the left because it was a very large shoulder. So there was plenty of room. Yeah. So I went to the left. So he got out of the car, came to the window, yelled at me that I needed to cross all 5 lanes of traffic to go to the right. Right. In which case I did. So I get to the other side, and then of course he comes up, gets my license, and starts up his whole interrogation. And then he goes, "And where are you going?" And I had been cool, calm, and collected until then, but that was when I was like,
none of your business.
right? And that was all that you heard come out of me was, and my friend who was in the car with me was like, "We're going to her friend's funeral, Jesus Christ!" And the guy was like, "No, that was not that. That was like this." It was bad. And so the guy literally just like looked at me. My face was like bright red. I'm doing that like fighting tears thing. And he was just like, "I'll let you off with a warning this time."
Yeah. I'll be honest. I've been very, very cocky with cops. I've been very cordial with cops. I've been just about everything across the board because I've had so many interactions with them. Yep. But the one downfall is, and the reason why I wound up getting very cocky was because of all the times where I was awesome, like very polite, very this, very that, and they were just stringing me along to try to get me for something, right? And that's why I always tell everybody, like, watch your mouth when you're talking to a cop. Meaning like be respectful, but don't give them any information. They're asking you information to get you for something, no matter what. That's their job, right? So, and there's been so many times like where they've literally like, where are you going? Right. Next thing I know, they've turned that on me and turn it into like that I'm going someplace bad. Right. Even though like I just told them where I was going, like they twist things and then try to say like, "Oh, well, you didn't say that before." And like, that's why it's like, I don't have nothing to say to you. Yeah. Nothing, right. But yeah, you got to be careful sometimes talking to them, especially you don't know, like their impression of you and where it can lead. But yeah, I've had all coins, or all sides
I get
of the coin.
scared of cops like whenever.
Oh yeah,
like I just don't want to talk to them. Like,
it's nice for I feel bad for especially guys, because I have been blackout drunk in front of cops where I actually got really drunk one day. The only time, leave my microphone alone. No, the only time that I have ever gotten wasted in New York, I went into the subway, came out of the subway to make a phone call because I lost reception, climbed back underneath, which is, you're not supposed to do, but I did it all in front of a cop.
You mean like the turnstile? Like
I climbed under this the turnstile. The cop stops me. It's like, didn't. Oh.
Thank you, Mark H. That's very, very true. I'm going to touch on that in a second. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, so the cop like stops me, and immediately I was like, "I like your hat. You want to trade hats?"
Oh my!
And the cop did. He traded his hat with me. I was wearing like some other fucking hat, and until the train came, and then I was like, "I think we should trade hats back." And he was like, "Okay." I'm like, nobody can get away with doing that, but I am so non-threatening.
Look at you.
That he was like, I mean, I think he was more worried about me falling into the train tracks.
My girl be looking like America's sweetheart or some shit.
And just to end the story, I cried all the way home on the train, just so that everybody knows I was that drunk.
You're blind. You got like that you're North Carolina white. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna fuck with you, bro.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Girl.
Being a female is definitely going to give you, as long as you're
a little upper hand. I will say that, especially if you're nice, like I can smile at a cop, and I've had this happen where they'll be stopping people, and if you just acknowledge a cop, they won't stop you. It's like, "Oh, hi, hello, you're so nice," because everybody glares at them. So it's like, it's really weird.
Just trying to get away from them all the time.
I'm just,
they notice that. They can see that. So Nick said, "I've personally found that being honest and cool with cops, most cops will get you further than being a dick." And I agree with that. Don't be a dick. And like you said, I've done all of the above, right? You're like, Kara, she gets nervous if we get stopped by a cop because fucking the things I say to cops sometimes. But I'm saying don't do that, right? I'm saying be cordial. Don't talk to them. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying give them the information you need to know your rights. But like, let me go down. Mark H says you have the right to remain silent to do that. And guess who else? Guess who else knows that? That officer. Guess who else knows you're a fucking fool for talking to him? That officer. That most officers, if you know them, they will tell you, do not talk to us. Don't talk to us. If we ask you questions, fucking like obviously your name, ID. Things like that. Like if you're getting pulled over, depending on if you're doing crime, because, it just depends on, your rights, right? Know your rights. I'm not going to get into all that shit right now. But what I'm saying is that be cordial, do all that, but There's no reason why they're asking you some questions. Where do you work? Where are you going? What time did you get off? You know, where does your mother live? What, you know, like none of your fucking business, right? That's my answer, right? With that stuff, because I do have the right, and like I said, they're lining you up for questions so that they can get you on something. It's the reason why you have the right to remain silent is so you don't wind up screwing yourself.
Yeah.
Because those questions will get you screwed because you can twist and turn anything. So I just say, keep your mouth shut, answer the questions like as basic as possible, right? Here's my name. It's all you really need to know. You don't need to know where I'm going. You don't need to know where I work. What am I getting a ticket for? You're writing me a ticket? Write me a ticket, right? That's it. All right, next thing. So, last time you guys, if ever, right, were in a fight, what happened?
Ooh, when was the last time we were in a fight?
Not together with other people.
Oh, like physically?
I don't want to hear you guys' domestic
like physically, bro?
past.
I mean, the sad part is I don't even know the last time that we were in like a legitimate fight.
Wait, separately.
Yeah, like on the streets in school, you know, just something, right? Like everybody, I feel like everybody's been in maybe people haven't. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
But just, you know, things happen. Have you guys ever been in a fight in school, on the streets? If you guys are duking it out and you want to put that on the channel, go ahead. But
no, we have no good fights between the two of us.
No, my girl and I do not fight at all.
Yeah.
Which is like really crazy, which is probably why we're getting married. So we've been together for about 3 years.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much. Like we just don't fight at all, and then I credit that to the fact
Good
that
for you,
like,
Knife Sergeant. Sorry, keep going.
I credit that to the fact that, like, you know, she's 36, I'm 40. I'm just not in fighting mode right now in a relationship.
If we don't agree on something, we just talk about it.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's allowed to have their own
easy.
beliefs.
Like talking to Kelly is mad easy. But the last time I was in a fight, it was not the club one. I know you're thinking about the club one.
No, I knew there was one after.
The last one I was kind of in a fight was like I was with this girl. Okay,
wasn't me.
I was with this girl. I was like 19 years old, and this girl was kind of crazy. She's Taiwanese, and I just came back from the Philippines after my mom sent me back there because I was hanging around with too many like Asian gangsters and shit. And she was just like, "Get the fuck out of here! Just go back there for a little bit." And she brought me back because they sent me to like some fucking computer science school, and like I never went. Like I just went to like fucking play arcades or something, like King of Fighters in the mall or something like that. That's what I was doing. And so I was going out with this girl, and she's definitely hanging out with, you know, a little bit of the underground. And she was working at some like karaoke joint. Okay. She's working at this karaoke. I fight for like twice a week.
Like that's
but she was, you know, she was working at this karaoke joint. So they close late, right? This is a karaoke joint in like Flushing. And I kind of had this feeling that like her ex was going to pick her up, right? Because like they were still kind of like okay. And at that time, I'm 19. I'm mad insecure. Like I don't fucking trust anything she's saying. These crazy hoes.
Right.
So, bro,
you get it.
I fucking wait outside her work, right? And I'm like hiding behind this dumpster, like all crazy. Like this is how I know that I'm a psychopath. Okay, I'm waiting behind this dumpster. And then I'm waiting for her to get off work to see if anybody comes to pick her up, bro. And the ex's car pulls up and fucking picks her up, dude. I don't think I ever told you this. No,
you told me. I already know where this story is going. It's going underneath
fucking,
another car.
I'm like, what? You know, she's like about to get in the car with him, and I fucking come out the dumpster, bro. And I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck, right? I come out the dumpster like, shing. Bro, what the fuck, bro? And then she's like, oh shit, you know, whatever. And then he's like trying to beef with me. And I think what she was trying to do, she's a very sweet girl, sweet enough that I actually have her name tattooed on my back. Big mistake. We'll talk about that.
That is a true story.
She's just trying to not have this guy and me like fight each other in front of her. It was like 3 a.m., bro. Right. So she gets in the car. They start driving away, but the door is like not closed yet. Like they're both drunk, I'm sure, because it's like a Asian karaoke bar. If you've ever been to one, it's lit as fuck.
It's a lot of fun.
I chase after this like Toyota Corolla or whatever. bro. The door is open, and like fucking Jackie Chan, like I'm hanging on this side. You know that thing on the side that you hold like this?
Yeah, the oh shit bar. That's
Yeah,
what
the
I
oh
call
shit
it.
bar.
I'm hanging on that shit, and it's like I'm on Northern Boulevard in like Flushing, and then he goes for a little bit, and he sees me hanging on. The door's not closed. He stops.
Oh, the door hits you.
Nah, he stops.
Right,
He
but doesn't the door swing shut when he saw
Nah,
it?
it didn't.
Or no,
because
it
I
would
was
swing
like,
open. It would swing open. I'm
it was
sorry.
open.
Yeah,
I was
go
like holding. I was like, you know, I was watching myself, so I wouldn't let the door slam on me. This dude comes out, and then you know, my adrenaline's like through the roof. You know, I'm also like wondering, like, does this guy have a knife or whatever? And he did. You know, and I'm like looking for shit to fight him. I find a Snapple bottle on the ground. Like I fucking pick that shit up. And then it was like around like 40 Road. That's like a block in Flushing. There's a park right up there on 40 Road. It's called TB Park. And I'm like telling him to follow me and shit.
Yo,
like,
let's go to the park, bro.
but he doesn't speak English. He doesn't speak English. He's a Fukinese guy. He doesn't speak English. So I'm like, come on, let's go, whatever, right? So I fucking go and thinking that he's following me because he got out the car too, thinking that he's following me, but they dip out, bro. They dip out, and I'm like standing there holding the Snapple bottle like on Northern Boulevard. Like after I
he was like, okay, yeah, fuck you.
So,
Yeah,
like,
literally.
me being
Jackass.
bro, this is how crazy I am when this is how I know I'm like absolutely insane, and this is what you're in for, like
Yeah, it's fine.
in your life. So I knew where she lived, right? Like my girl at the time.
Yeah.
And we ended up together, by the way. So fuck him. But
I mean, after that, not now.
I fucking took a cab, and I had no money, bro. A cab was like $15. That's so much money at that time. I took a cab to like her mom's crib. That's where she was staying. And I fucking hid underneath this car. I hid underneath the car like this.
I'm gonna
I'm calling her like I'm calling her like this. I'm on the ground, and I'm like calling with my fucking Nokia phone because that's how long ago it was. I'm calling her, and she's not picking up. It's going to voicemail. Like, hi, this is whatever. I'm waiting. Finally, that fucking car gets there and drops her off. Right, she goes in the crib. And I fucking
rolling out from underneath the car.
Yeah, no. So he dips out. She dips out. She goes home, and I fucking call her again. I'm like, yo, I'm outside. She like, first of all, I have to sneak into her crib because her mom's just not gonna let me sleep over.
Yeah.
She opens the back door. I go. She's in the room upstairs. I go upstairs. We start talking about it. I think she received like 180 missed calls or something.
Damn, you weren't playing.
Yeah,
like, I got time today.
Let me explain myself a little bit. This was the first girl that I ever actually loved. I think
I understand.
I was 19. I have her name on my back.
Yeah,
like I loved her, bro. Like every other girl I went out with in my teen years, I played around with every girl in my teen years. I was going out with like 3 chicks at a time. This was the first girl that I only had one girlfriend for like 4.5 years, bro. And yeah, that was the last fight, a kind of fight I ever got into. I never got.
I would like to point out that fight actually happened in her bedroom, though, after he took a shower because he smelled like garbage and possibly car oil.
You know what's crazy? I don't think I took a shower.
Yeah, you're fucking gross.
And I think I got laid, yo.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. So like with me, like with that, I'm very possessive and everything, but like with a situation like that, I've never, I've been in a lot of fights, but I've never, for something like that, I would walk up and shake that guy's hand. It's good for you. And I'd walk off. I would never put myself in a position like, because she's made her choice. To me, like, I'm going to be happy that he exposed that. Right. Yeah. Like, that's her fault, not his. Like, why wouldn't he want to get some pussy? Right. So I'm not going to fault him for that. And so to me, I ain't fighting with you or nothing. I'm going to shake your hand and say, good for you, bro. You got it. Not me. Because I don't want it. I don't want it.
The thing that happened with that girl, though, was she was like, yo, I was literally just trying to get a ride home. And like that was our first year. And we went out and lived together for 4.5 years after that.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, she was legit just friends with this guy. And although in a man's eyes, that is wrong. You should not take a ride from your ex, like, and fucking not tell me. You know, it's a lot of insecure shit that was going on. But
I would say probably tricking you out of the car wasn't a good sign.
hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, boy.
When I got home from the military, I said I'm not fighting anyone and never have. Not saying I haven't had a gun in someone's face or pulled a knife because I had to, but didn't end up having to act. Good for you, because that's definitely a situation you don't want to be
and that's
in.
also different because being in the military, there are a lot of different laws that can backfire. If you get into a fight and there's damage done to the other person, you are a weapon. So that's
well, I don't think that actually is a thing, like, of actually being a weapon, like in a court of law.
Is
but
it?
You will get reprimanded
Yeah.
twice. So you wind up
how
getting
severe. I don't know, because being from North Carolina and being surrounded by so many military bases. Yeah, it depends on how severe the fight was and what happens to the other person. From what I've been, and this is from years ago, I will say this has not been within the past decade that I got that information, but when I was in college, that's what I was told.
I used to think like there was something like to that, like
that is also because of Nicolas Cage and what was it, Con Air?
Right.
Yeah.
That movie was the shit, dude.
But yeah, they can get in trouble because they're going to get in trouble on the streets and on the base, and they can be, like they can be charged on there. And it's when you're in the military, especially if you're active duty, you don't want to get in no trouble on the streets. You're trying to be legit. But Kelly.
Yes. Do you want to hear about my only fight?
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
So it wasn't really a fight. So I'm going to tell you how pitiful my fight was. I was in the 8th grade and I used to play basketball. And I had transferred to a new school. And so I was trying to, like make friends and be cool. And so I was playing basketball and I beat this kid. And, he thought I was, he thought it was just a fake thing. So he was like, it's just luck. Do it again. So I beat him a second time. Yeah. And then he made another comment like, it's just luck. And I was like, yeah, that's what your mom said. Because it was a your mom joke and that was normal at the time. Well, he didn't take it well. So, it like escalated. Like he got really mad about it. I walked away. We saw each other in the lunchroom. He got in my face and I may or may not have shoved him over top of a chair and thrown the chair on top of him. Which he shoved me. And then I got called into the principal's office because they told me I was being racist.
Oh, fuck you. What the fuck?
So that was the entire thing. That's as far as it went. Is it was a shoving match because I beat a kid at basketball and I got called racist afterwards.
Yo, first of all, though, that motherfucker should get beat up. Yeah.
Say that again?
I will say he wasn't going to get any swings in because I did have enough friends that were there that were like, as soon as he gets ready to hit you, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. So
Kelly, you got a question here.
What ethnicity was the
question
guy?
For Kelly. Philodendrons. I do like philodendrons. I like them a lot, but it depends on what type of philodendron it is. Some of them are just really difficult, especially, and we're going to get deep here for a second. The variegated.
Is that like succulents? I'm sorry.
No, so a philodendron is a tropical plant. So it would be like
kind of like succulents.
There's all different types. Like the basic types that don't have variegation are much hardier and easier to take care of. But when you get into things like white princess or pink princess or any of these wizards or whatever it is, they're harder to keep stable. They have a tendency to die easily. So I do like them. They're beautiful, but they are a asshole if they want to be.
Yeah, I would imagine.
You got a white princess right here.
That's me.
You gotta kind of simulate that environment for them to thrive the way they would.
But you would think that, but ironically, is even having a greenhouse in our apartment fluctuates so drastically that even with a fully insulated greenhouse, all plants in my house die. They will only live through a season. And as soon as the season changes, because of the fluctuation, they will kill their roots and die. So I've actually given all of my plants in my apartment to a friend of mine who is like rehabbing them. And then I'm going to pass them on from there. Yeah, red emeralds are like beautiful philodendrons. So no, that's a good choice.
Damn, my girl got and talking this, yo.
I'll go through this really quick. The last fight that I was in, excuse me, because I told this story I don't know, a couple months ago, but last fight I was in was actually in jail. I was in jail, and it was over the phone. I was trying to get on the phone, and this dude had already asked me like if he could, use the phone. I said, when I'm done. Him and his buddy like always ran around together, and he came up in my face, which like in jail, like there's very disrespectful things you cannot accept whatsoever. Like if you do, you'll be labeled as a bitch. So he came up in my face and like asked me for the phone again, but I had already talked to him just a second ago. And there was like, the phone was on the wall. I grabbed his hat, I hit it against the wall, and then his buddy came, excuse me, after me. I turned around and I hit him in the mouth, and it was just like really quick. Everything was really fast, and then I got put in seg for a few days. But or no, I don't think I actually got in trouble right then because seg was full. I just got on 24-hour lockdown. But then and then another one, the one right before that, because like a month before that, I had this crazy biker show up to my door out of nowhere.
Oh shit!
Over to my door, like accusing me of something, and swung at me, hit me in the jaw, and it was just so quick. Like I was very confused, but he was obviously part of a biker gang and everything. Like he was not playing. Like he was about that business, and he clipped me on the jaw, and I had a hammer because I was doing construction and everything. I had my tool belt right next to the door. I grabbed the hammer, I swung it at him. He tried to shut the door to prevent me from hitting him with the hammer, and that was basically it. And then he wound up leaving or whatever. But yeah, it was real quick.
Yeah, it's always real quick, like the chaos and shit.
It is. Well, it's a lot quicker than it actually is.
So fast, bro.
It feels a lot longer than it
when you're in it.
I would say
that's what I'm saying. When you're in it, when you're in it,
but really, time is like. That was like barely 3 minutes. You're like, what
I will say I'm pretty good at like de-escalating situations. I'm good at sweet talking like situations.
I like to think I am.
That's why we don't fight, bro.
Well, me and Kara too. We're really good at that.
That's why we don't fight, bro.
I would say that I hit a point around like late 20s where I was like, if I ever feel the need to raise my voice, and I think this was because I was a retail manager. And retail management is just another name for just sheer fucking chaos every day. Yeah. And so I just came to the conclusion, if anything ever made me mad enough that I wanted to yell, then it was bad for me and I should just walk away. Yeah, like, I just came to that conclusion. Like, do not get so mad. And that just translated into relationships. And since then, it's just like, no.
So in relationships, I am like, so I've always said this. So like the first like 2 weeks, me and Kara got together. And I'm like this, like across the board, and I think this is good for any relationship. So anybody in here, take notes, because this will lead to a positive relationship. So I always told her, I will never, ever call you a name, ever. Not once. You will never hear me call you a name. You will never hear me say, like, joking around is different. Like, I'm not talking about, I'm talking out of anger.
Not when we're fighting.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying
when we're fighting.
I'm saying out of anger.
So you don't look at each other and go, you're a bitch.
Right, like you're a fucking bitch, fuck you. Because anytime you're talking and arguing, right? If you start name calling, anytime after that, the next fight will get worse. The next fight will get worse. It will just escalate farther and farther. And you're always trying. When you get to fighting, you're not listening to what they're saying. You're thinking about the next thing to say to hurt them because they just hurt you. So to avoid that, right? Learn how to have good conversation and listen to them, but avoid the toxic part, which is name calling, trying to what's it? I'm trying to think of the word, like to demasculate a guy or to dehumanize a girl. Like, don't take it to that level. And I always told her, like, I will never ever do that. And if I ever do, we're broken up right there, because at that point it doesn't get better. I'm not saying people can't work things out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you cross that line of calling the woman in your life fucking names, think just like the reverse way. If it's joking around, that's not what we're talking. We're talking about,
like, joking around is different.
Yeah.
So,
because I call Kelly a hot bitch or like a sleuth.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. I'm talking.
He'll be like, don't be a hoe, and I'm like, but it's so much fun.
Yo, last vlog we did on Sunday, she was wearing a corset
Yes.
right, with white ribbons on it
Mhm.
and blue jeans that were like torn and like white sneakers that were mad clean. She had her hair done. She looked cute as shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like, why? What do I look like? And I was on the vlog. It's on YouTube. You can watch it right now. I was like, a whore. No, but then, you know, it's like she knows that I'm joking around and like,
Yeah. Of course.
I would never, like, when we're in a fight, like,
Yeah.
it's so awkward because
Yeah.
we don't want to be mean to each other,
Right. Right.
Yep.
like at
And,
all.
and that's kind of what I'm saying
It
too.
gets fucking
Oh, yeah.
awkward as fuck.
It
But
really
it's not
does.
like we're not like
The thing
name
is,
calling or anything. You
Yeah,
know?
you don't
it
want
really-
to make it to where it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
to
Right.
do that to each other.
And I also think that it really comes down to how much you care about a person. Because if you really give a shit about the person in your life, then you don't rip them down because you already know where their weak points are.
Yeah.
If you ever get to the point where you touch on somebody's weak point,
Mhm.
that something that like you know will ruin them internally,
Yeah.
like the relationship is dead. There is
Right.
no love in that. There's
Yeah,
no
you should
love.
want to protect that, not destroy it.
And you know, it's
Exactly.
funny, but my relationship before Ray, the last relationship I was in before Ray, he was in. Yes, that's how it ended. That's how it ended. But he was incredibly toxic. He was a toxic person, and even him, I wouldn't argue. There was no argument. I would just
Yeah.
let him get it out, and then I'd be like,
Yeah.
"So about that." Like,
I would
you already
replace
know.
love with respect, personally.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But
It's all
without
about
the
that,
respect, there
dude.
is no love. You know what I mean? They're kind of hand in hand in a relationship.
Yeah. Well, I think like because I think guys and girls somewhat look at it a little bit differently. I think they both have to be treated a little bit differently.
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely.
a guy's role is different from a female's, and people can say it's fucking toxic masculinity. I don't give a shit. But,
It has
but
nothing
I
to do with toxic masculinity. Sometimes it's just somebody's in a toxic place in their life and they're miserable and they need somebody to be miserable with them.
I
And
think,
that really is 90% of people's problems.
yeah, I think sometimes people are ignorant to what actually attracts people. And the masculine things a man does is actually the thing that fucking attracts you and keeps you in a relationship. And then when you start calling it toxic, right? I think obviously there's going to be toxic people. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about
Right.
masculinity, right? There's nothing toxic about being a masculine man. But just like there's nothing toxic about a woman being feminine, right? But I
Right.
think there is something toxic about a woman being masculine and a man being feminine, unless if they're in, you know, like different types of roles. I'm talking about a man and a woman. But you know, every relationship's different. So next question.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Has either one of you ever been robbed?
No.
Stolen from, anything like that, right?
I've never been robbed, but I've
No.
been jumped a few times. Living in
Okay.
New York City, being an Asian kid, you know, I'm 5'9" right now, and I definitely was even shorter than that growing up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I wasn't always working out, you know, when I was in 8th grade and shit. And I remember one of the times that scared me the most.
Yeah.
I think I was definitely living in Queens already. So I must have been in the 4th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
I must have been in the 4th grade, and I was hanging out at a friend's house that was like really far from where I lived. You know, normally when you're in the 4th grade, you hang out around like the vicinity of where your home is. This dude lived really far. And there was this kid who is no longer with us, actually, you know, RIP Chocolate. His name was Chocolate. That was his nickname. And he wanted to rob me of these LA Gear. Do you remember LA Gear? It was a type of sneaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
light up.
Bro.
Yeah. Right.
Catapults, bro. I used to love basketball, and I had the catapults were like supposed to like make you jump higher and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, and this dude, this was like a bigger black kid.
Yep.
And I'm like an Asian kid that's probably like, I don't fucking know, 3 feet tall or some shit. You know what I mean? Yo, bro, I lived in Queens most of my life, G-ball. I lived in Woodside. I went to school in Sunnyside, IS 125, went to school in PS 12, Woodside represent. I spent a lot of time in Queens Village. I'm in Bronx right now. But at that time, I actually lived I think I went to school. I was in the 4th grade, so I went to PS 12. For anyone that lived in New York, people understand these numbers. But yeah, so I was like hanging out this kid's house, and he was like, "Yo, give me your fucking kicks," you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I still had an accent. I said, "What do you mean? Give you my kicks? But this is mine." You know, I'm like a Filipino kid, right?
Right.
And bro, I was mad shook because this kid was like fucking felt like 2 feet taller than me, bro.
Yeah.
I went to my boy's crib, and I called my dad to pick me up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And my dad came to pick me up. And this is how crazy that kid is. Okay, me and that kid have a huge history together. So
Okay.
this is how crazy.
Like over years.
Yes. So this is how crazy. This is how crazy that kid is.
Yeah.
When my dad picked me up and I got in his car and he left, he saw that his prize was leaving, and he had a bat with him. He was like smashing on the ground. He was like angry and like, got away.
Wow.
I met that same kid again through my junior high school, that is 6th grade to 8th grade. And we were boys, bro.
No shit. That's
I
awesome.
remember that.
Yeah.
He died. He got stabbed in the heart when he was in high school. That's why I R.I.P. chocolate. But it's crazy how when I was a kid, I was being bullied by this guy. I had my dad pick me up. And then in 6th grade to 8th grade, he was someone I could rely on if I had beef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
I've actually had a couple people like that where it started out as beef and wound up being really good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Stasa 23 is in the house.
Yo, Stasa 23, bro. Love you, man. I wish you would do my podcast. Don't be scared. Nick Shabazz has done
it. Shout out.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, what's another question?
So, okay. Now this one is I know you guys have pets, right?
Yes.
I know you guys have pets.
Yes.
What do you think of exotic animals as pets?
Love them. He won't let me get a skunk. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I would get a ferret or something.
It's not that exotic.
I would like skunk.
I would really like a rose-breasted cockatoo.
Fuck that. Fuck
he doesn't want it.
I'm out. Birds, I'm out. They don't give you love, bro.
That's not true. They're these are very
yeah, birds will give you love. It's just they are
they're not the kind of love a mammal will give you.
They can be.
Yeah,
they can be loud. They talk. They're gonna be like, hey bitch, give me attention.
They also have that sour kind of
Breeze grew up with a parrot. My aunt had parrots. I had some birds.
Nice.
Stasa says hit him up. He'll do your podcast.
Yes.
Quit fucking around and hit him up.
Yeah, get some night therapy on EDCC, yo.
Oh, and by the way, this is a good time since we're doing a podcast. Let's just go ahead and release the news. We'll be getting a Malleuramastic here shortly.
Huh?
So
a what?
A what?
So it's a lizard.
Oh, okay.
The vegetarian lizard.
What?
I was literally just about to get into
this.
His name is Reptar, and
what are you talking about, bro?
So what happened was, long story short, my best friend bought me a lizard 4 years ago. And the cats went psycho, and I didn't have the same setup that I have now where I could keep the cats away. And so I told her I can't keep him because of the cats. But we were going to keep him in the family. So she's had him for the past 3 years. And she called me yesterday and said, I really need you to take him because I'm trying to downsize, like at my house. And so, we have to keep him in the family. So that was the agreement. So surprise.
I cannot fucking believe this bitch is getting a lizard, bro.
Well, we're not kidding. We've had the lizard. His name is Reptar.
What does he look
amazing.
Like?
He has a turtle head and a spiky tail. And he eats nothing but he's a Euromastic.
What the fuck is
so he is an exotic lizard, and I'm super excited to have him come.
Dude, we have these 2 giant miniature.
He's gonna go in the kitchen. It's gonna be fine.
Miniature tigers walking around with a
Reptar from Rugrats. That's where he's from.
Oh my god, bro!
I'm very excited.
So I've had a lot of exotic pets and lots of reptiles. I've had monitors.
I've had an iguana before.
Pythons. I've had a few iguanas. I've had raccoons. I've had stingrays. I've had birds. I've had everything. Parrots. I've had fucking everything. So like I love animals. Like I'm an animal person.
Me too. We love animals.
But yeah, reptiles can be cool. I got more into the big aggressive kind. Like I had put it this way, I had an an Asian water monitor that I used to walk around. I
Oh,
also did this
shit.
with my Doomerel with a leash and a harness.
Yeah.
How big was it?
That one was about 6 foot. That one, my Doomerel, was about 6 foot, but he was hefty. Like his
Yeah,
head
like thick.
big.
3
Like,
inches thick.
I used to walk him around in the neighborhood, you know, and like in the neighborhood, a lot of people like fought pit bulls and shit. And I used to walk them around and be like, oh, you want to fight your pit bull? Right? Just fucking with them, right? No. They're looking at it like it's a T-Rex.
Yeah.
But I used to have a raccoon, and I did the same thing with it. And people would pull over. People would pull over and be like, is that a raccoon? And I'd be like, no, it's a Shih Tzu.
Well, there is actually a exotic pet store in Lodi, New Jersey called New Jersey Exotic Pets.
Okay.
And I follow them. So like if I could have a job there, I would, just because I can't bring home most of the things. So everything is illegal in New York. Everything. You can have a cat, you can have a dog, you can have fish, you can have certain lizards, but I mean nothing exotic.
Can you get permits?
No.
No.
The problem the problem, the really big problem with New York is that, and I've never seen an environment like this, but in New York, it is okay. It is considered normal if you don't like your pet to open up your door and throw the pet outside. And it is a huge problem in New York.
Yeah, I don't like
that. I hate
so that's why so many animals are illegal, because there's like ponds that are in Central Park that are overrun.
Yeah.
There's just a ton of issues that they've had. So they've just continued to make things illegal.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's kind of good though, right?
Yeah.
Because there is a certain level of where people shouldn't be able to, and I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I think you should have the freedom to do what you want. But like getting animals just because you can and you can't take care of it. I've seen that so much. And I went to school for like dog training. And so I've done lots of dog training, and I couldn't tell you how many abused dogs I've trained.
Oh yeah.
How many fought dogs. I've told the story on here where like I saved a dog that got shot a couple times. I saved another one out of the woods that was trapped in a cage he was too small for, and he was eating his own shit for days. And he had scars all over him because they had thrown him in a pit full of fighters that tore him to pieces. And then so they were healed. And if you have healed scars, then that means you were really little when it happened, because he was only 3 months old when I got him. So imagine how young he was, right? So like I've seen so much with that. I can't stand watching abused animals. Like I want to hurt people when I see that, because they're helpless, you know, like they're.
When a Sarah McLachlan song comes on, like Jared has PTSD. He's like, oh shit.
I mean, I think anybody who heard and seen that commercial, they all have PTSD.
It's all Sarah McLachlan, like all this shit.
But I was a dog trainer as well. But I actually used to help train German Shepherds for the police force.
What?
Yeah, so that
you have
was.
To speak Swedish or some shit?
No, because it was basic training before the police academy for dogs.
I gotta tell you right now, I am like lit as fuck with all the alcohol that you brought home. I've been drinking like whiskey. I'm drinking like whatever Hennessy, vodka.
Oh yeah, you're.
I'm gonna knock the fuck out.
He's gonna get in bed and close his eyes and go.
I'm gonna smoke
everything's
some CBD.
Spinning. Everything's spinning.
Let's go into the chat. Anybody got any final questions or topics you'd love for us to talk about? Shoot them out. Shoot them out.
Yeah, shoot them out, dude. I gotta tell you right now.
Yep.
I've done a few pods, and this is really whatever chemistry Neevesknives and Everyday City Carry have is like really good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's awesome, bro. We had it was mad fun. Last guy.
Oh yeah, kick that guy in the head.
Yes,
absolutely.
That is when you kick somebody in the head. When they
hands down, I would kick somebody in the head. I'm 4'10".
I went after a guy one time because my dog, when he walked in, my dog gave me, like I said, I've been a dog trainer. So my dog was highly intelligent, was a bull mastiff, and a very protective dog because it's a bull mastiff. This guy walked in, and it was around an area that he could have possibly been around her without me, because it was like a farm, and she was always running around this farm. And when he walked in, she gave the vibes like he's done something to her, right? Like she got scared of him. She ain't scared of nothing. Like that's just the way she is. I went after him because I thought, and I'm not saying he did, because I didn't, like go after him too crazy, but in my opinion, you did something to my dog.
Yeah.
My dog is scared of you. Why is she's not scared of nothing? Why is she scared of you? Right. So, but yeah, like,
damn, dude, that's
my dog did that to somebody when she was in training, because I was a dog trainer. So she would go to work with me, and she started growling at a guy one time. And I remember being like, "Sir,
I think growling's a little different."
It was very different. Her personality was very
outgoing.
outgoing. Yeah, so she was a really outgoing dog. She didn't growl at anybody ever. And all of a sudden, she saw this guy, and her ears went down, and she had big. She was a rat terrier. Her ears went down.
Right.
Her tail went down. She was like, "Fuck that, dude!" And I was like, "Whatever you did, get out."
Yeah. Right. So my dog definitely was overly protective. So like barking, growling, that wouldn't have bothered me one bit. It was that she was jumping from him, and she didn't jump from nobody. Like if you've seen her, dude, she was a 130-pound bull mastiff.
Yeah,
like, this dog is a pure to the bone, to the core guard dog. You know, she doesn't fear anything. So to me, that was a sign like you did something when I didn't see you. All right, so if you could bring back any discontinued knife, what would it be?
So this is a question that is not the best question for either of us, even me. But I think the right answer to this would be like some of the Benchmades that they discontinued last year.
Okay.
Things like the Proper, which I thought was a really cool knife. That was their slip joint. And remember when Benchmade was just like, yo, we're discontinuing all this shit.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. There was a lot of good models in there, and I'm sure one of them would be the ones that I would like, you know.
Did you ever try the Real Steel Griffin?
Yes, I have one.
That's discontinued, and it pisses me off. Yeah.
Is it the button lock one?
Yeah. Now, that's the one I would bring back. I would say bring back a 2.0 version.
I have it.
You got a moderator right here if you want one.
Yo, Monster Racing. So you know what? You know what's crazy is you were saying how it has to be someone that's in like all your lives. Monster Racing is on all the lives. Yeah.
Like I said, you want to get somebody who's reliable.
Yeah.
If someone messes with my PTSD dog, they will die.
Yo, for
that's
real,
that's a fact. Yep.
Yeah.
Shit. If anyone messes with my cats or anything, I will help them. For real. Like my cats right now, like especially Frankie, not the white one, the other one. Man, I'm so close with that dude. If anything happened to him and somebody was responsible for it, I'm gonna kill him. Yeah,
that's fact.
For sure.
But I feel that way about like Ray too.
Anybody everyone that donates to my GoFundMe.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Like I'm very protective of the people and the
I don't think that
around me.
I don't think that will have a fight story unless somebody like messed with Ray. If it ever got to the point where it was like,
there was one time I thought we were gonna get into a fight, bro. There was one time. So we were on the train.
We were ready.
We were on the train. I was with Kelly. We're taking the train home, and there was this really thank you, Monster. There was this really smelly guy.
Yep.
That looked like he was on like Crocodile or bath salts or something or K2.
Yeah, he was on bad.
He was literally.
There's another one. Sorry, go ahead.
Seems logical. Seems logical. I'm just letting you know right now. The last comment that you put on the podcast with Jared and me, I put a video of it of how long it was, and I sent it to the Knife YouTube Elites, and I was like, this dude comments on all my podcasts, and they were all jealous of me, bro. And it made me feel really good.
Nice.
So thank you for that. But yeah, like Kelly and I were on the train, and there was this dude that was like fighting the air.
Yeah, he was fighting.
He was like arguing.
Oh yeah.
He was like, fuck you.
But the problem was we were standing. Yeah, we were right against the door, and he was directly in front of us, fighting nothing.
Yeah,
and so he had something wrong. Yeah. So we were ready. We were ready because
but he came up to us.
Yeah,
he came up to us and started like yelling at me, but it seemed like he was yelling like behind me, like he was seeing someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went like this, because I wear this like long ass like Massimo chain, and my keys are connected to it. So I took it off. I took it off the belt loop, and I put it around my fist.
Yeah, I think I heard this story. Yeah, I was amazed. I was loving it.
And then the guy, the Mexican dude, like in front of us, he went like this. He was like, "Yeah, dude." And Kelly was in. After the guy like left, Kelly was like, "Yo, I thought that was the first time we were gonna get into a physical altercation with somebody." It was pretty.
Well, because
he was
Ray
right
is
in
not
front
gonna.
Of my face.
Yeah, Ray is not fighting alone. That's the way that this goes. I don't care if I have the time to run. There's no running. Like if Ray is in a
He
fight,
wasn't that big a dude.
we're in a,
man.
yeah, no,
You know, man.
no, Ray would have taken him down and I would have stomped his face. Like that's how that goes. Teamwork makes dream work, you know?
Yeah, so I look at this slightly different. I look, and you know, I'm not telling anybody else to look at it like that. This is just me, my crazy brain. But like to me, I want like Kara to stay behind me because
oh yeah, he does.
What I want is like the situation that I'm about to get into. I'm doing it so that you can get away. Don't fuck that up.
Yep.
So like I don't mind.
So I would like you to know that if it was Ray saying that, too fucking bad.
Well, the thing is,
I think that could be an issue though. That could be an issue.
Here's the difference though. Here's the difference. When I met Kelly, I saw clips of her like boxing before. Yeah. This girl has
I'm not hitting anybody with a face. Yeah. We're going full elbows. We're going knees. Yeah. We're going.
I'm saying like girl has had boxing training.
One thing that you said that's very very effective. I'm throwing somebody's face into a wall. I'm not hitting them. I'm not going to hurt my hand. I'm going to literally throw something into. Oh my God! Here we go.
Yeah. But I think what it boils down to though is that. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
No. Keep going.
Okay, so like, I'm gonna tell a quick story, of like a situation I got into with somebody like with some mental issues, but like with mental issues specifically.
Oh yeah.
I think, in a way, like to me, like I understand protecting yourself from those people because sometimes it can't be a threat, but also I think that it's our duty to kind of protect them because like,
absolutely.
If somebody has a mental condition, like I won't take offense to anything they say. In my opinion, like there's something wrong with them. They have a mental problem. And I've seen a lot of that. Like it's sad.
Right.
It's very sad. So one time I did smack one, right? Because what happened was I was at a car wash and he was coming up like selling like shoes and like a leather coat or something. And I was with my ex at the time and she was cleaning the car out and I was like kind of away, but I seen him and he walked up, asked me if I wanted it. I said no. And I said, and don't go ask her, right? Don't go up to her. He instantly walks away from me and walks directly towards her, right? And I knew she'd be scared. Like this guy does not, like he looks and fits the bill of somebody that's fucked up, right?
Right.
And so I stopped him. I said, dude, I just told you, don't fucking go talk to her. Like I already told you, no, I don't want your shoes and I don't want your leather coat. Like just move along, right? And he continues to like try to talk to her, like trying to push her, and I fucking smacked the shit out of him, right? And that was it. The store or the car wash owner came out yelling, blah, blah, and like was starting to call the cops. And I said, well, get these motherfuckers off your property then. Like I'm a fucking, a client or whatever. Like I'm doing business and you got these guys coming up harassing girls and shit. But I thought about it afterwards, right?
Right.
This guy's got a fucking mental condition and I just slapped him, right? For doing something that I don't even know if he could control. Right. And maybe he could, maybe he couldn't. But yeah, like the guy you were talking about, like with some of those issues, like it's sad. It's sad, but I'm not trying to fight with one of those guys. Those guys, you don't know what type of disease.
No, you don't know what it is. The thing that's scary about them is that you don't know how far they'll
Jared,
go.
approve the video, by the way. I try to share my screen. I think you have to approve it.
Oh God.
That Asian so drunk he rhymed out.
That's my cousin Breeze.
I thought that my eyes get smaller, bro. Like, I mean, approve the video, but approve the share screen. I think you have to approve it. You see it?
No, I don't see nothing.
All right, I'm gonna try it again. Right? I'm gonna try it again, and I'm gonna.
Where's it gonna be?
I don't know. I don't know what it looks like on your end. I'm gonna share it literally right now.
Oh gosh.
Do you see it? There should be something.
Oh wait.
Yeah, do you see it on the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, dude, do you want to fucking mess with this girl right here, bro? Hold on. You want to fucking mess with this chick right here, son? Yo,
I didn't know you could do this.
Bro, come on, bro. Come on. Yo, I saw this clip when he first started going out. And I was like, yeah, this girl got some spunk in her, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, son,
No, that's awesome.
My classes start back next month. I'm stoked.
That's
Yo,
all.
this girl's got some spunk in her, you know what I'm saying?
Good
I'm
for
like,
you.
all right, you know, maybe you could
Look, and all I'm saying is that I agree with you. There is absolutely, it's not like Ray and I walk around like, when are we going to team fight?
Oh, I know that. I know
Dude,
that.
we try to, yo, so this is how I act in New York City, okay? There's always somebody crazy on the train. I would rather do this. If somebody's acting crazy on the train and I have an opportunity to go to the next car, I will do that.
Yeah,
He will do that so fast that
I will do
sometimes
that,
I get
bro.
left behind and I have to realize he's walking away.
What you talking about?
I have to be like, oh shit, he's gone. Okay.
I take you with me. I give you a
Looks
look.
like it's just me and you, buddy. Looking at the crazy.
No, I tell her, like, I give her a look, like,
He
yo,
just
let's
gives me a
go.
look and I'm like, and I could be like not paying attention. He's
Right.
just
And my girl doesn't understand that, like, when we're
The
on
look,
the train, I am in a different mode.
But there's also, hold on, wait,
Right?
there is also a big difference.
What?
That
What is
you
that
have the
difference?
so the big
Huh?
difference is guys have the luxury to get up and leave and there's no question
But you're
about
with
it.
me, though.
Hold on, but the issue is for girls, it's we very much think if I get up and leave, am I going to draw attention to myself? So should I move or should I not move? And that is a huge problem
But you
for
and
women.
me.
Yeah, but then I remember
so we
I'm
could
with
just leave
him.
together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would rather move to the next car because there are many cars.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
it's
there's
one.
much better.
Like he's saying, one issue with some of the people with mental issues is they're not necessarily experiencing the same reality as you, and that itself is dangerous. That
Yeah.
is so
Yeah,
true.
100%. When somebody's tripping on bath salts or K2 and they think your head looks like an octopus,
Yeah.
just go to the next car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have a homeless cousin who I see from time to time, and she will talk to walls and talk to things, but when you talk to her, she's on such defense mode for being homeless for so long and having people mess with her that she's very mean and angry. Like with me, she'd be gentle, you know, as whatever she'd be, but other people, like she's so used to being defensive. But she's got a condition like where she'll be talking, and next thing you know, she's talking to the wall, and it's a real conversation, and it's sad, right? It's sad, but she's obviously in a place, and she's had the choice, like she chose this, right? But it is a point of which like it can be dangerous because you don't know where they're at and what they see and what they're
No, it's
experiencing,
wild.
or the paranoia. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah. And that kind of goes hand in hand with all of it.
We have boundaries and personal space. I am very compassionate, but get up in my space, sane or crazy. And my instincts is to drop you before you drop me. Environmental conditioning. Yeah. That's where my conditioning has gotten me to, where I'm very protective over my space and especially the people I'm with. So I find it sometimes as a threat when maybe necessarily it's not a threat, right? So that's something I got to work on and try not to
smoke
allow
on here?
myself to.
Are you getting in trouble?
What are you talking about?
Can I smoke on here? This is CBD.
I don't give a fuck what you do.
All right. No, I'm just saying. I don't know what your sponsors are gonna say. I don't know if fucking what's that company? The knife company that you showed me?
I don't know.
Moderno or whatever. I don't know if they're gonna be like,
No. It's my life.
they smoking the pot. Hey, we gotta stop sending.
It's my
in
life.
the
I'm
knife."
smoking.
fine.
but,
No,
Just CBD.
it's CBD. It's CBD.
I don't care what is wrong with the person. If they mess with my woman or my kids, I will pound them into the ground. There are so many instances of being passive and someone getting hurt. Yeah, I agree. That's where, like, to me, there is a line of which, like, you've crossed it. Now it's too late for you, right?
Well,
like,
I also think that
completely agree.
it's very different between outside of the city and in New York City. Because in New York City, it's really, I will tell you, in North Carolina, it is very easy to say this person has a mental issue and it is clear as a bell. But in New York City,
bro,
it is 3
There's a
million people.
Have you guys seen Subway Creatures or What is New York on Instagram? Dude. That is what creatures? Yeah, that is what Kelly and I are experiencing every day. And you're gonna be like, no way. But it's like, to us, it's just like normal. I'm gonna share my screen with you right now and just approve it, and you'll be like, what?
Yeah.
That's what I see every. Oh shit, hold on. Do this, boom. All right, so just approve it right now, real quick, and I'm gonna just show you like what we are experiencing every day. You share it,
monster. Yep, I'm going for it right now.
Sick. So this is Subway Creatures' page right here, and I'm gonna try to go to like this is normal, bro. Hold on, this is normal right here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I'm saying you get that, which is clearly a joke.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You also get like absolutely mental people.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Remember, we're in the Chicago area, so I mean, I know people in the chat. They can understand.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, New York City, you're seeing a lot of mental illness, and there's definitely a lot of. I feel like society is degrading in front of me. That's what I feel like in New York City.
It is.
But I do think that I still like always look at the bright side and stuff. It's becoming a city full of zombies. China is getting back at us for the opium we pumped into there. But look, I'm gonna tell you right now, China is gonna fucking take over, and in a fucking nail salon, it is gonna be white women doing Asian women's nails, like soon, in about 10 years. That's what's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah. Mess with me to a point, but mess with my son at all, it's over. He is a very tough kid and could probably handle himself quite well, but I wouldn't even let it get that far. Yeah, my dad was really protective over us too. Like my dad used to let me throw hands with grown men and used to put bets on it. Like I remember that. Like,
damn,
growing up, like that was just a thing. But yeah, like you know, I definitely got that from my dad. My dad was extremely protective over his family, his kids, and I'm the same way. Like there is a limit where you pass that, you cross that line, and there's no going back.
Yeah,
there's no going back. But with mental health, right? I'll let that line get slightly further than I would with somebody who is of the right sound mind, because I don't necessarily want to get into it with somebody who might bite. You know, like and anybody could do that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, blood, everything else. However, you know, that's how it goes. Regardless of your condition.
Yeah, I could see.
Plus, if you're elderly, that I'll have respect for. I'll let an elderly.
The elderly, I will let shit slide.
They can slide through just about anything. There's just about nothing.
Dude, I will say that
I will let an old man like probably grab your boob, and I wouldn't punch.
I would let an old man grab my boob. I wouldn't say anything.
Well, like if an old person, right? When they get
like, I don't know if I would do that, bro.
Damn it, you're old. Like
depending on how much money he has, you may be in trouble.
Oh, what the fuck, dude?
I'm just kidding.
My girl's gonna be a sugar baby. Look for Kelly H on sugarbabies.com.
Yeah,
fucking date her out right now.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I feel like I can't take but a lot of times I think it's because I worked with elderly people as my first job. But I just can't take like when an elderly person gets really nasty. I can't take it seriously. It makes me laugh. And it probably shouldn't be that way, but when like an elderly person's like, fuck you, and I'm like, he said fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, the craziest shit. So I don't know, someone was talking about some like China statistic. Yeah. But I don't know if you guys saw this, but when Fast and the Furious 9 came out, John Cena released a video apologizing to China.
To me, that was
because let me tell you right now how smart China has been like playing their hand. So China is so in control of the Hollywood and the NBA that every single director and every movie like production company has to bow down to China, except for Quentin Tarantino. They do not play Quentin Tarantino movies in China. He was like, fuck you, I'm not going to do what you want.
Good for him.
That John Cena, who's basically like a Captain America, had to apologize in Mandarin for mentioning Taiwan as a country. Makes me really afraid of like what kind of foothold China has in like our entertainment industry.
That to me, it makes us look scary, bro. I can't stand anything that we do that influences weakness and looks weak to other countries.
Dude, it's John Cena, bro.
Oh man, I want us to give up the same reputation we always have. Don't fuck with America, right? But when you have shit like that, man, it makes us look like some fucking bitches. And
I'm going to tell you right now, Fast and the Furious, the last time I checked, made about $460 million worldwide, and I think over 300 million was made in China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. They definitely have an upper hand with a lot of things.
It's kind of crazy, like the kind of long game.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they basically were like, look, we're gonna take all the technology in the world, we're gonna incorporate it and try to make our own version of it, but much cheaper, and that's how we're gonna get ahead in the world. And that was their plan all along. Fuck John Cena.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
I agree.
You know what? Can you imagine?
Any respect is gone from me.
If The Rock apologized, I would really be sad, bro.
I think The Rock, is a disgrace in a way too, like in a lot of ways. But I like The Rock a little bit better, or a lot better, because he hasn't gone that far. But he has said some ridiculous things that I don't agree with, and I'm not saying I have to agree with it because I don't think like that. But I do think though, like there are some things like he was pushing, and it's like, bro, stick to your shit. Why are you pushing politics? Like, and you can clearly.
I'm gonna watch Black Adam though. I'm not
pushing it because you know, like he's being paid probably.
Yeah,
But you know, like, oh, did you guys see that thing? I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but
I'm
like,
sure I have. Bro.
Going back to China, like how they were like indoctrinating some of the colleges, and there were actual people that were spies from.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's scary. Thinking like they've been in our colleges for 20 years, 30 years.
Well, I mean, you know, here's the thing, right? You know, like I'm a big social media guy. I'm on all platforms. I'm checking Twitter every day, and sometimes I'm reading a tweet or like I'm watching a TikTok, and I'm like, is this a Russian like media company trying to create diversion in America? Because they do. It is proven. Yes. It is proven that they do that. But you know, here's the thing, right? America does that too. Like we go to other countries and try to fuck with their shit too. Everybody's doing it, but what I don't
think to the extent though. Like I think our the USA experience is just it's everywhere, right? But I do agree. We do the same thing. Like we fucking bombed and killed fucking villages.
Well, here's the thing, right? I don't know because like I heard this one dude on a bunch of podcasts. He was in the CIA. His name is Mike Baker. And he was like, you know, they were talking about that exact issue where it's like you have these foreign agents go into a country and create like these accounts in social media to try to create division between races and stuff like that. Right. And he was like, don't get it confused. Like America is doing the same thing in Russia and China and everything, and everywhere we can do it. It's a strategy that these countries are using to try to create that you know, a diversion. You know what I mean? That's I'm reading shit, right? And I'm like, is this a bot, bro? Yeah. Is this a Russian bot right now?
Ray says everything is a bot. I got a random text message from some random guy the other day.
It's a bot,
and I thought it was my coworker. And then he's like, yeah, you gave me your phone number in the subway 2 days ago.
Ray, your history's all porn. It's a bot.
I was literally like, I didn't give my phone number to anybody. Bye. And I blocked him. And Ray goes, it was a bot.
First of all, let me just clear this up right now. I never clear my porn search history. Okay. I watch porn with my wife, first of all. Like, I am not hiding anything that I watch, bro.
I do. And I think I'm going to just immediately blame Catholic guilt.
Catholic guilt?
If there's no history, then maybe no one will know.
Yeah. But yeah, I personally, and you know, just like my like broader way of like looking at like with that stuff, like I don't consider myself and you know like left, right. I consider myself like right in the middle. I'm more of a libertarian, if you're gonna ask me. Like I'm more of a libertarian. I mean, look, but I don't care if you're Democrat, liberal, Republican. What I care about is what you care about this country and what you want if you want this country to succeed, because like our constitutional rights, like if you don't like and respect our constitutional rights, then I don't agree with you, right? That's where I like cut the line. Like our constitutional rights are so important to us and the success of our country is so important to us. So that's where like I fall into it. I want nothing but our country.
Yeah, I want look. Being as someone who was born in a third world country in the 80s, like I was born in 1981 in the Philippines, bro.
Yeah.
If you were in the Philippines as a child, like under 5 years old, and you would watch TV, there are two channels, maybe one channel on there. And once I came to America and I fucking saw Cartoon Network and there was cartoons playing 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I said this is the best damn country in the world.
Right.
That's what I fucking said. Exactly. So I do want America to prosper, like for sure. And when I hear people complain like, oh, this and that and whatever.
Worst country and
And I'm just like, you have no idea
No
what
idea.
it's like to live in another country that's not America.
Right.
I don't know what it's like to live in Europe or anything like that, but when it comes to like Southeast Asia, bro,
yeah,
dude, it's way better to live here. Like way better.
I can only imagine. I
you know
think
what I'm saying?
all
And
blessed to be
despite a lot of America's, there are there are shortcomings in America. Like I would still rather live here than anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I just think that we are definitely pushing the line with pushing towards socialism and communism. Not saying we are like there.
Yeah, but what about like Chinese makers though, bro?
Excuse me, say that again.
What about Chinese makers in the knife community though?
Well, to me, like, okay, so like I think I want nothing but business to grow and succeed in the US, right? 80% of all knives in the entire world are made in one city in China. That's just a fact. I don't think it's the knives
that Shenzhen or whatever
ruining our country. It's not the knives, right? It's way more things than that.
Yeah.
And the more companies that grow and succeed in our country, which we should be influencing, and I do think we should stop putting less businesses there and growing more here, the more we can back them up and use them and pay for them. But like I said, there's so many other ways to look at that. Like when you look at the oil industry, computer industry, car industry, like those are the things that are where you have millions of people working and stuff. It's not the knife community, right? Yeah, that's not what's
the
country.
The main thing I have a problem with when they do the anti-China stuff, right? When I see posts, especially in the knife community, they're like, "Yo, fuck, that's a fucking Tucson. It's made in China," and they're like making that post with a fucking iPhone.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, you do know that people are killing themselves or trying to kill themselves in these iPhone factories every day. And I don't necessarily think like a person is throwing themselves off a roof in the Tucson factory.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? But they're making that post with an iPhone thinking it's all good. But they're trying to ban this Chinese knife company who from the couple of people that I've met that I've worked with Tucson or that have worked with designers from Tucson and have only had good things to say about it that reside in the US, right?
Right. It does. It doesn't help in the US in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's like there are so many other things that it's like they're being hypocritical. I'm like, look, if you're gonna be all in on anti-China, fucking ditch your iPhone then. And I'm sure
a lot of fucking things.
Dude, the iPhone, but the thing is like everyone has a smartphone, and it's either you have an Android or an iPhone. And if you have your television, iPhone, if you have an iPhone,
printers,
if you have an iPhone and you complain about this anti-China stuff, you have no right to fucking say anything about it.
Right. Right.
Get your iPhone.
I do think though, like that there is that limit though, where people are trying to do the best they can, right? So like, say if you're gonna go down that hole, right? I agree with you wholeheartedly. Do it. Good for you. Because if you're gonna only buy as much as you can, USA made,
Samsung, baby.
I got props for you. Like, but there is a limit to where like you're not gonna find a USA made phone. You're not gonna, right?
Dude, imagine there was overbuilt like old school ZT, and we're like carrying it. It's like fucking 10 pounds.
A fucking brick.
I would fucking be like, fuck yeah, bro.
It has the walkie-talkie.
It's like
so we can walkie-talkie each other
shit with this.
Yeah, it's got a glass breaker on it, a fucking seatbelt cutter, and what the fuck?
Oh shit, yo,
that's hilarious. Okay. They realize paying free men pennies on the dollar is cheaper than housing and feeding their workers. Yeah, I mean, we do, like, there are a lot of companies like that the U.S. does benefit because the designers, the salesmen, the companies that do sell them, the post office, like, there's a lot of ways you can look at it. But yeah, I love Civivi, and I don't know, but I like to buy American knives. I don't bitch too much about buying Chinese. It depends. It depends. It's all situational. Knives are a worldwide ordeal. We can all get along on that. Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, I have a lot of Chinese made knives. I have a lot of USA made knives. I think there is a happy medium.
What if Manny Pacquiao started an OEM and shit was made in the Philippines? Would people still be upset about it?
I don't think so. I think
the new Wiha Bit Wiha Bit Boxingero is made in Manila, Philippines, in my factory. I wonder if people would be like, "Fuck that, America."
I don't think so. I don't think so. Just like Taiwan, a lot of people would rather
Taiwan knives
see
are
it
pretty
made in
sick,
Taiwan because we are allies with them or whatever, right? Like I think a
Yo,
lot.
how
of
long
it
does
has to
your
do with
show go on for?
It's been over. We're an
For
hour
real?
over. We're
Oh
about an
my
hour over right
God,
now,
bro! I didn't even know. You should have told me.
Yeah, we'll cut it out in 3 minutes because it's
Okay. My
just
girl
do
is taking a piss right now, and
3 hours.
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. This is one of the most
I agree, Drew. Sorry, go
fun
ahead.
guest spots like we have ever done.
It's awesome.
It's so much fun to fucking hang out with Neevesknives, man. Like we just can't tell like the time, like how long it's been, and it's just been awesome, dude. And we talk knives too, bro. I barely talk knives with people, but when you're on, like I actually like talk about it.
Yeah, I think like I said before, I try to write down like categories and subjects that that people like to talk about, people like to hear, and then we all can kind of just chit chat about. And then after a certain time, I just kind of go into whatever. But yeah, I try to keep it like back to back talking like without dead space. I try to as much as I can. Now I'm obviously gonna improve as much as I can as time goes on, but as of right now, that's the system I'm working with, and it's working pretty good. We usually get like right now it's been 3 hours, so there's only 57 people in here, but we usually average right around 90 to 100, between 80 and 100.
Have people dropped out?
Oh, well, yeah, it's been 3 hours. Fucking
people dropped out actually. Like I'm not even sure.
Yeah, people.
Let's see. I'm gonna check it out right now.
There's 57 in here right now. We were up to like 90 something or 100 or something at one point.
They were like, "Ah, man, these crazy people, yeah."
Well, they're sleep. They gotta work, right? Like people. I know it's Sunday tomorrow, but people,
tomorrow is our only day off, bro. I think. Well, I'm cutting the hair. That's number one. I'm getting a haircut, and I think we're gonna eat some Chinese food. And I don't know what this woman has.
I'm eating Chinese food.
I don't know what this woman has for me, but I'm cutting the hair, bro. If you guys want to see the ponytail in action, like the old videos are gonna be there, but I'm cutting all of it off tomorrow.
Yes.
There you go. That's gonna be awesome,
dude.
You said you're gonna record it.
What?
What do you mean? You're gonna record it.
That's a good idea for the vlog.
Yeah, I could.
I think I'm gonna have Kelly. Dude, good idea, bro. Dude, you know what's gonna be crazy? If like when Kelly and I like go to Chicago and we do a vlog together, and the internet, YouTube just like breaks. They're like
cracks in half.
Yeah, because that's like one of the things that I love doing right now, and actually gets the most hits is either the podcast or the fucking vlogs. Is like the main thing. When I do a knife thing, it's like nobody watches it, bro.
Yeah, well, I think you've separated yourself at this point. I think that's why. I think if you would have put this way, if you would have did from the beginning to now, that
just vlogs and podcasts.
No, knife stuff, right? Knife stuff. So like the way how you were in the beginning, how you were talking about how you were anodizing stuff, you were doing this, you were in, and like I said before, people can tell when your heart's in it and when it's not. Everybody can tell your heart's out of it. I can sure as fuck tell, right? You don't.
I love knives though.
That has nothing to do with it. It has to do with whether or not you want to create content with knives, right?
Bro.
What in the hell?
Bro, I love knives, bro. Bro,
I feel like we're compensating for something right now.
Where's your Hummer?
Now, Bacon
promises.
Bacon Swag FL. Like, send me these knives.
Look at this.
You can't, babe. Do not open that. That is mad sharp, and your little finger is gonna cut off on the live right now. That is the way a porn girl measures a dick in the porn.
That's the way that I measured your knife.
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
Sure. She's like, not your dick though, because it's not like this. No. Oh my god, bro! It has been fucking amazing to do your show, man. Anytime,
I appreciate you guys coming on.
Do this. I hope that everyone in the audience was entertained. We're a little bit different.
I hope so too.
Have you ever had guests on here before?
Yeah, couple.
Shit, bro.
I'm gonna start bringing more. My goal is to every few weeks bring somebody on, or every couple weeks bring somebody on. That's my goal. And
dude, this is a podcast that you just did. You know that. I know that you think it's a live, right?
Yeah,
it's a podcast.
But I'm gonna hit you up and I'm gonna just teach you how to do the podcast way, so you can distribute it through the audio format, because this is a good one.
I want to. I told like my the platform that I want to start doing podcasts, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm doing live podcasts basically.
Just do this, right? Download the well, you don't really have video playing, so you could actually just download the audio format. You know how you could download it through StreamYard? There's like a audio format version.
No.
Do you know that?
No.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to fucking call this. I'm gonna have to call this.
I know that I laughed like I knew something. I didn't know anything. I laughed because I knew he was gonna laugh.
Oh,
so he'll do all of that.
Yeah. God. I got the StreamYard, and as much as we've done tonight, that's what I know.
I'm gonna fucking let you know like how to do
working on it.
Because you should distribute it because you have it already. There's no extra work.
Right.
All you have to do is press a button on this app called Anchor. It's free, and you can actually get advertising on it through the audio versions.
Really?
Yeah. So what happens is Anchor will distribute it to iTunes and every other podcast platform for free.
Yeah.
One button. You just upload it to Anchor. And then they'll distribute it for you. And then when you keep doing it, eventually they'll start like giving you like, hey, you could, read this ad. Like right now I have the Anchor one. I haven't recorded it yet, but I basically have to say like, yo, if you want to create a podcast, this podcast is sponsored by anchor.com. If you want to create a podcast, yeah, and you get like clicks per minute, like dude, your content creator brain is already thinking right now.
Oh, dude, I'm sitting here, gears are
running. You should fucking do it because
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Talk slower so he can write it down on his notebook.
Oh my god.
He needs to take notes.
No, I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah, definitely hit me up because I'm always like I'm wanting to spread into other platforms and do other things, but it is the ignorance that's
I need to be more like this guy.
Well,
I think the opposite.
I think that if you guys just give each other the information,
I'm like, fuck, man.
And I'll just be here to smile and have bangs.
You're more than that, Kelly.
One of the best shows I've ever done.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate
you for having us.
Bro, thank you so much. Everybody follow everydaycitycarry@gmail.com. You could email your EDC fits and all that. You could send us the donation on PayPal, Everyday City Carry on YouTube, at Everyday City Carry on Instagram, patreon.com/Everyday City Carry. You will see my boobs, her feet, maybe, but we will definitely do a podcast. Thank you, Neevesknives. Good night.
Peace.
Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.